Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions.
5 weeks into this goofy and crazy year of 2020, we have two teams looking for their first district win tonight, knowing the loser could be out of the district race already. It's Smithson Valley on the road at Schertz Clemens here on the Ranger Network. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tony Brubaker. Alongside tonight is Stephen Foster. And Stephen, this is a game of two really different teams, but both with the same goal of this is a big win for whoever gets it.
You're absolutely right, Tony. And 27-6A is a heck of a district. And with the powerhouse teams in this district, you cannot take any district game for granted. You have to try to secure one of those top four spots, and it's not easy here in 27-6A.
Max DiDomenico is the junior starting quarterback for the Clemson Buffaloes. He is everything to that offensive team that has a lot of weapons.
Well, he is very versatile. We spoke about it offline, and it is a field general effect for him. He has great command of his offensive team.
Jalen Nutt is the starting quarterback for the Rangers. He's a senior who played cornerback for his previous years in the program. He's already off to a 55% passing rate with 230 yards through the air and 260 yards on the ground. He's got some weapons too. The most valuable one is Gabe Hoskins, the junior running back who has been a bulwark, if you will, running the ball.
Well, it's nice to have an option, and you can tell that Jalen Nutt is a complete football player to be able to switch sides of the ball, to go from defense to offense, and not just play a wide receiver or running back, but to be that field general for the Rangers. And, of course, if you have a trusty sidekick, you know I love running backs, Tony. It helps you move the ball up and down the field.
That's right. Smithson Valley 2-1 overall, 0-1 in district play, goes up against Clemens. I hope we're not playing Clemson. The Clemens Buffaloes, they're 1-2 overall and 0-1 in district play. We'll have tonight's kickoff of the football game here on the Ranger Network right after this timeout.
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions.
I'm Dr. Matt Bayless with Summerhill Dental. If you've been putting off going to see the dentist out of fear, I want you to know that it's time to go see your dentist. We have a procedure in place on how we intake patients and how we handle all patients to make sure everybody's experience here at our office is safe and productive. People have been afraid to go to the dentist just for a routine cleaning, but we've got you covered. It's time to come back and see your dentist. Summerhill Dental, your Smithson Valley dentist.
A whole lot of things have changed over the past few months, but some things have stayed just the same. Here at Smithson Valley, we are still making your kids smile. You may not see that as easily with those masks on, but those smiles are just beneath. And when all this passes, and it will, you'll really be reminded of how we just keep making them smile. Thank you for your trust and support, and get your guns up.
Hi, I'm John Sconyers with Sage Capital Bank. I wanted to give a shout out to the Ranger volleyball team. Good luck tonight, and go Rangers!
What's your Wi-Fi score? With the GVTC Wi-Fi score quiz, you can determine the Wi-Fi speed to suit your needs. The tech aces? Well, they're on another level. Take our quick Wi-Fi score quiz today at gvtc.com/Wi-Fi score and make sure your connection is up to speed.
We're back at Lehnhoff Stadium for Clemens and Smithson Valley High School football. The head coach of Clemens is Jared Johnson in his 9th season with an overall record of 47-32. The head coach of the Rangers, of course, Larry Hill, in his 28th season, 259 wins. Folks, that's almost 10 wins a season average. In 28 seasons, he's had, 27 previous seasons, he's had 24 playoff appearances, 13 district titles, 3 state finals games, and in 28 seasons, he's had 1 losing record. Folks, that's a legend. And that's why he's in the Texas High School Coaches Hall of Fame.
Should be.
He is. Inducted in Hall of Honor in 2017. Just 1 losing season in 27. I don't care what sport you are. I don't care what level you are. That's hard. That is really difficult. Rangers will kick it off tonight. That will be Wyatt Hayden, the senior. I'm sorry, Austin Hosier, the senior. He's had a good year kicking the football. About ready to put a toe to it.
It's going to get a little assistance, Tony.
Yeah, the wind has been picking up throughout. If you're outside or anywhere in the area outside, you notice the temperature has fallen about 20 degrees in the last hour or so. And the wind is the biggest reason why. So Hosier will kick it off. This one high. I thought he almost called for a fair catch, but it's mishandled. The ball is loose, and Smithson Valley falls on it at the 30-yard line. And the mark at about the 30 or 31, but the Rangers take advantage of a big miscue by the Buffaloes here in the opening play of the opening kickoff.
Well, you don't want to have that. You have to field the ball. It looked as if a fair catch was going to be called, and then an indecision was a bad move. You mentioned the wind, Tony, and the wind played a factor in not being able to possess the kickoff, and now a short field for the Rangers.
Rangers will be working into the wind, which really surprised me in a lot of ways. Clemens won the toss and took the football, and we are going into the wind. Little option look. Nutt keeps it, goes right, breaks a tackle, has a man angled towards the end zone, or towards the sideline, pardon me. He'll get inside the 20. It's first down yardage as he gets almost to the 10-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rangers on the first look of kind of an option look, and Jalen Nutt took it to the corner, and again, breaking that first tackle. Looked like that was Terrell Peterson that he broke through and got pushed out of bounds. They'll say now at the 13. So Nutt with a single back beside him, a wing on either side. They give it to Hoskins, straight up the middle. He's got some room. Offensive line really surging. Gets inside the 10 to about the 6. So a gain of almost 7 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 3. The interior part of that defensive line, including Kamali Evans, in on the tackle.
Nutt goes for 19, and then you go off to his favorite guy, his sidekick, Hoskins, for about 6 or 7. I think a win on first down is 4 or more yards. If you can go outside off tackle and get 19 and come back and pick up 6 or 7, your offense is doing a great job up front.
Offensive line again making some push, and they'll see now on 2nd and 3 from the 6. Nutt in the shotgun. A receiver fake sweep. Now Nutt keeps it. He's wide open on the left side, and he rolls into the end zone. Around left tackle, faked it to a jet sweep by the receiver and just kept it himself, and everybody on the Clemens defense was sucked in the middle, and Jalen Nutt makes it a 6-0 game for Smithson Valley. That was too easy.
That's okay. Yeah. As an offensive guy, I take easy. And again, on the ground, you mentioned and noticed the wind. So if you can get a running game, the wind may not be a factor for you, Tony, tonight. And as you mentioned, great yardage picked up by both rushers, and then a score coming near side to us for 6 points.
The extra point kick is no good, as Austin Hosier, who this year was 11 of 11, misses for the first time tonight. And you know the wind had something to do with it. So the Rangers go up 6-0. 10:46 left in the first quarter. We'll take our first break of the night on the Ranger Network.
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions.
I'm Dr. Matt Bayless with Summerhill Dental. If you've been putting off going to see the dentist out of fear, I want you to know that it's time to go see your dentist. We have a procedure in place on how we intake patients and how we handle all patients to make sure everybody's experience here at our office is safe and productive. People have been afraid to go to the dentist just for a routine cleaning, but we've got you covered. It's time to come back and see your dentist. Summerhill Dental, your Smithson Valley dentist.
So a minute and 14 seconds into the first quarter, Smithson Valley's up 6-0. They missed the extra point. This wind is turning into be quite a weapon or a detriment, depending on how you are using it. Smithson Valley will kick off into the wind again. Austin Hosier will do the duty. And back, the second line's at the 20. The deep line is at the 10. This one goes back, and it will go and die inside the 5. Finally picking it up is Postal Ellis. He's in the corner, trapped inside the 10 where the Rangers are all over him, and that was a mistake. I think he thought the ball was going to go out of bounds or into the end zone, and he just let it bounce, and it just died like a good 9-iron on the green.
You're the football whisperer because you mentioned the trials and tribulations of the wind, and right there, Tony, the ball just died. Normally, without this 20-plus mile-an-hour wind, that ball would have gone into the end zone, but it stayed in the field of play.
Crazy, crazy. Buffaloes with the ball for the first time tonight. DiDomenico out of the shotgun with a receiver broke to either side. He'll keep it himself, rolling out to his left, breaks containment, throws it up the field. It's caught on the far sideline, and that'll be good enough for the first down. Looks like it was Edwards who made the catch, the senior's 13th reception of the season. He's already got a couple of touchdowns, and this one takes it out to the 23, and that's good enough for a first down.
I've seen Edwards play before, Tony. I'm sure you have too. He runs really good routes, and he's faster than you think.
They do have weapons for DiDomenico, the junior, who's thrown about 49% of his passes, 554-yard passing, 120 yards rushing. Again with a receiver either way. He hands it to the tailback, and no going there. The defensive line is all over it. Amari Williams down at the bottom of that pile. The bottom of the pile looked like either Malik. No, it was Gavin Woods, the defensive end. He's the one that made first contact, but a bunch of Rangers were there for the tackle.
He who wins the line of scrimmage usually dictates the success of the play, and right there, the Smithson Valley Rangers all over the Buffaloes, and you got no push. They got great pink socks for breast cancer awareness, but they weren't aware for the blocking.
Two receivers to the near side, one to the far. DiDomenico wants to throw it. Looks like a screen. Now he breaks containment and runs the ball himself, and he's got better speed than you think he does. Gets all the way up to the 32. There is some laundry on the field. A flag on the far sideline. We'll have to see what it is. Up to the 32, that would leave about 2 yards for a first down. Sideline warning against Smithson Valley. That's the flag. So it was a gain of about 8 or 9 yards. They'll say 9 yards. Brings up a third down and 1.
Tony, that's a friendly flag. You don't usually get those. That you just get a warning and no yardage is marked off, no loss of down.
DiDomenico, quick pass, and intended for Dudley, the sophomore receiver, but the quarterback and receiver were not on the same page, and it went about 5 yards left to where the receiver was standing.
That was a mix-up. The receiver goes in, DiDomenico throws the ball out. I'm going to stick with the senior quarterback and think that route should have been run to the sideline. That's Clemens' sideline. It's a safe place for a receiver, and just a miscommunication between quarterback and receiver.
So on to punt for the Buffaloes. Left-footed kick goes, chases the Smithson Valley receiver, And finally coming up with it is Bowman. He breaks to the right. Now he's got some blocks. Goes to the sideline of the Smithson Valley Rangers and does a nice job of getting out of trouble as he'll take the ball up to about the 37 or 38 where the Rangers will have first down.
Got run down by Landon Dietz from the punt coverage team, but rights the wrong, misjudges it. You see how the wind played. It really carried the punt there, Tony, but a great settled return man gets the ball up almost to the 40.
The wind is blowing left to right, but it's also blowing far side to near, and we're seeing a lot of that for all these players as well. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. A lone setback beside Jalen Nutt, and the Rangers are going to call a timeout because there's an immense amount of confusion. We'll keep it here at 8:54 to go in the first quarter, and a 6-0 Smithson Valley lead. But they got out there, and one of the receivers didn't think he was in the right place, and then somebody else asked a question, and I think Larry Hill said, let's figure out what we're going to do on an important first down.
Well, I think you're right, and if this wind is going to wreak havoc during this football game, points could be at a premium. We've already seen a missed point after touchdown, and people misjudge kickoffs. A punt that was probably not, that was about a 50-yard punt in the air, and then you have a return man who's trying to get back, fumbles it, recovers well. You just want to settle your team down because right now, as momentum starts to show its head, it's on the far side with the Rangers.
Dalen Burris, by the way, was the punter for Clemens, the left-footed kicker who sent the ball to Blake Bowman. Rangers still huddled up on the far sideline. Again, 8:54. We played just over 3 minutes here in the first quarter. The Rangers up 6-0. They scored after a miscue on the opening kickoff. And 3 plays later, they were in the end zone. So Jalen Nutt now has a running back to either side of him. 2 receivers to the near, 1 to the far. Nutt takes the snap, runs left, wants to throw, has a man intended for and caught. And a nice pass play that gets near first down yardage. It'll be a little bit shy of it. Maverick Freeman makes the catch.
Nice rollout near side to us, Tony. And again, with the wind, you don't have to put a lot of mustard on it. Just need to be accurate. And right there, when you have a big target, as you mentioned, you don't need to do much except get the ball out on time and pick up great yardage on first down.
Maverick Freeman, number 12. The senior at 6'4" and about 180. Here's a handoff to Hoskins going right around the edge. Looked like he had more room than he did as he got tripped up at the last minute. As good job by the Buffaloes.
You don't like to go sideline to sideline if you're a rusher.
Yeah.
You want to have some ability to turn the corner, plant the foot, and cut back. And right there, the Buffaloes did a good job of just stringing that play out, even though the Rangers had good blocking on the right side.
Looked like he had room when he got to the corner, but it closed down in a hurry. Now Jalen Nutt will have a keeper. Needs to break 1 tackle, and he's unable to, and that'll bring up 4th down for the Rangers. As the Buffaloes, that did a great job. Bryce Taylor, the junior safety, in there, as well as the cornerback was pushed him up the field, Jeremiah Postol-Ellis. So for 4th and 1, they give him a gain of about 2 on the play, maybe a yard, and it's 4th down. Our officials talking, not real sure what they're talking about at this point. Sideline warning without a flag. Oh. Second sideline warning on the Rangers results in a delay of game, and that's a 5-yard penalty. Huh.
They may have thrown the flag somewhere, Tony, and just picked it up real quick and had a discussion.
Yeah. So the Rangers will punt. Wyatt Hayden, the senior, 4 punts this season for a 40-yard average. This one will be difficult to kick it 40 yards with this wind. Let's see what he can do. Decent snap. Kind of keeps a low line drive, but it gets caught in the wind and it won't go very far. About a 20-yard punt there. Lands inside the 40, where the Buffaloes will start 1st and 10. It looks like from their own 39.
And that wind did play a part. You may have to send one of those low 2-iron Tiger Stingers to not get that ball up in the air if you're going to get any distance when you're kicking from right to left tonight here at Lehnhoff Stadium, because the wind is really not allowing those kicks in one direction, right to left, to really get any distance.
Smithson Valley right now just trying to weather out this first quarter of going into the wind. Defense out there now. Big defensive lineman Trey Moore needs to start making some plays. Here's a run. Amari. The pile will go as Williams will get up to about the 41 as the head lineman comes in from the near side. So a gain of, we'll call it 3 now, makes it 2nd down and 7. The defensive line did a great job of standing it up, but then they got a little surge for a couple of yards.
Yeah, that was an interesting – that movement looked more like rugby than it did a rugby scrum than it did football. But, again, if you're going to give a team 3 yards, that'll at least push them to make an attempt on 4th down.
So from the 42, it's 2nd and 7. DiDomenico has 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. The lone setback is Williams. He wants to throw, rolls to his right, has some pressure, gives it to the tailback, and Williams will take it and get out of bounds at about midfield, and that should be good enough for a 1st down, and it will be.
Well, Max DiDomenico, as a senior, he's seen a bunch of football on this level and very collectively comes near side to us and just drops the ball down. But it looked like that was designed to go to the running back anyway. A safe pass. It moves the sticks, and that's the first and foremost thing you want from your offense.
No doubt. 1st down and 10 from midfield. They present some motion. Now 2 receivers either way. Here's a receiver in motion. They'll fake the handoff. DiDomenico will keep it and get shut down. Darlington Frash right there, the middle linebacker, with yet another tackle. 22 on the season, 8 last week against Wagner.
Frash was smart to just stay patient and see where DiDomenico was going to move. And all of the little shake and bake, you still have to come forward. And Frash said, okay, I can out-tackle you more than you can out-juke me. And right there it goes for 1 yard.
So 2nd and 9, 2 receivers either side. Williams in motion. They'll fake a pass to him, DiDomenico will, and then he'll run straight up the middle. He'll get caught again. I think that was Frash who tackled him by the legs. And De Hoyos got him up high. Give him a gain of about, we'll call it 3. It's 3rd down and 6.
Again, just contain DiDomenico. A good move for a quarterback draw. But that second level, the linebackers, the guys that make the most tackles, were not fooled. They stayed home, played good assignment football, and DiDomenico didn't get much on that 2nd down play.
Now 3 receivers on the left side, 1 on the near side. DiDomenico has some pressure, can't get to him. Now orders some people around. He can scramble, and he's doing it right now. Tries to cut back up the middle, but he gets hit and knocked down. Ball was loose. No, he was loose. Got hit first. Frash had a piece of him. I think Woods might have got a part of him, and there is a bunch of Rangers. It's 4th down and short now, 4th down and 2, and it looks like they're going to go for it.
You mentioned that this is a game that one of these teams could definitely be on the outside looking in for a playoff slot. So on the other side of your opponent's 50, why not?
Same format with 3 receivers to the far side. Now 1 comes in motion. That's Edwards. DiDomenico goes under center. Trying to draw the Rangers offside is all they were trying to do. They weren't really going to go for it, but they tried to call the Rangers offside by a bunch of player movement and shifting. Edwards dancing in the backfield kind of had me thinking something was up, and then DiDomenico's good under center just trying to draw the players offside. It's 4th down, and there's timeout on the field. It's called by Clemens this time, so each coach has called a timeout here in the first quarter, in fact, with 4:27 to go in the quarter. We'll keep it here as Clemens will have a 4th down and 2 with the wind at its back. I still think it's something you might want to try because the other team's still going into the wind for 4.5 more minutes.
I think you're absolutely right, Tony, and it's worth the timeout because if you have the wind, if you're trying to figure out, I'm at home, I'm down early. You know, what is it? It's a short field, but not the typical short field. You've got some coaches that have to roll the dice tonight. They cannot hold back, or they may be left out of the playoffs.
Looks like they're going to punt.
Flip the field.
Dalen Burris. Their punt formation is tight. Everyone is tight. Bowman is one of two players back for Flores is the other one. The snap is good. The left-footed punt goes end over end, aiming for the corner, and it hit in the end zone is what I've got. I don't know if they're going to mark it. He is saying it's in the end zone. It's a touchback. That was really close to being in the coffin corner there with that ball traveling from left to right and far way to near way. That ball was sailing because of the wind this way, and they will call it a touchback, and the Rangers will have it 1st and 10 from the 20.
Well, you only net about 22 yards there, and you may kick yourself for not trying.
Yeah, it's certainly something you could second guess. The Ranger offense back on the field, 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. A lone setback. Nutt gives it to Hoskins, who comes left, but there's no room. Their defense really ran downhill fast on that one. As they came to the near side, Hoskins really didn't have much of a chance. Big defensive lineman David Parker got the biggest piece of him.
Pretty good pursuit. Inside out, near side coming to us, Tony. And, you know, when a play takes that long to develop, we saw it in the last series, Tony, on the far side where it seemed that there was a rushing lane, but because the pursuit from the Buffalo is so good, not much to pick up.
2 receivers far side, 1 near. Nutt will take the snap. He wants to throw. Looks to the far side. The far intention. Good defensive breakup on the play by Mike Curie. McDonald, the intended receiver. It's incomplete, and it's 3rd and long.
Well, maybe the strategy for the Buffaloes is paying off. They did get 20-plus yards of field, and as mentioned, the punter will punt into the wind, so maybe you flip the field and hope to get the ball back on your opponent's side of the 50 to start 1st and 10.
Your goal of Smithson Valley was to get at least a 1st down and let the quarter end before you had to punt.
Exactly.
Now they may be, especially with an incomplete pass at 3:34 in the quarter. Nutt fakes a pass, now throws over the top. Looks like McDonald again, and it's broke up again, and it's Curry again against McDonald. McDonald had a little bit of space when the ball got near, but then Curry really made up that space in a hurry, and the Rangers will have to punt with 3:27 to go in the first quarter.
Now it's going to get very interesting because not even fielding the punt may still result in a short field. You know, you got to cover. And the Buffalo's confident in their return man as they send Taylor back, who had issues with the kickoff.
The punt is low. This one has a little bit of a spiral to it and gets a good roll. It'll go near midfield, and at the 48 is where it will be picked up by the Rangers. Ryan Hakes on the field. So about a 30-yard punt, which means the Rangers will pick up about 10 yards on the exchange, as they're now at the Ranger 49 for 1st and 10 for the Buffaloes. 3:18 to go in the quarter. Buffaloes send 2 receivers far side, 1 to the near. DiDomenico faked it to Williams, now keeps it himself. I'm telling you, he doesn't look fast when you just look at him, but his feet are just so good. He's quick-footed, and he scrambles for a 1st down.
Well, the other thing is he's bigger than you would think as
Yeah.
well. You put the pads on a guy who can move well in tight spaces, and he gets the ball every snap. And so the decision is, do you guard him for the run or the pass? And that's where DiDomenico can be very dangerous.
2 receivers far side, 1 to the near. Williams behind. Again, they fake it to Williams, and he's going to keep it again and come around the near side and get 6 or 7 yards. They'll mark him out at the 33. It's a gain of 7. And right now, DiDomenico is just able to pick and choose what he wants to do, and he's been their biggest weapon so far.
Right, and he's the most dangerous man because the ball gets snapped to him every play. He makes good decisions, so that with the athleticism really makes a difficult decision for a defense of how to play that quarterback.
Just one wide receiver. Now they'll shift to 2 on the far side, 1 on the near. Williams takes the handoff, left edge, tries to turn it up, does so, gets first down yardage as is inside the 30 before he stood up, fresh at the bottom of the pile. But a good run for a first down to the Ranger 26.
Get a little change of pace, and you pick up a sneaky 8 from Williams because, again, you focus on DiDomenico and what he's doing. All of a sudden, he just hands the ball off simply and gets nice wall on the far side, the left side of the offensive line for the Buffaloes, and a good rusher knows what to do.
2 receivers come to the near side, 1 to the far side. DiDomenico wants to throw. Had a stop-and-go route on the far sideline, but it was covered. DiDomenico will run to the corner. A horse collar tackle will no doubt get flags, and it does. Unbelievable as the speed got him there. The Rangers' Wyatt Hansen only could reach and grab his collar and brought him down.
And I think right now DiDomenico is going to wisely take off anything that would result in because, that's part of the uniform. So it wasn't pulling the back of the shoulder pads. And that's why you wonder with the guys that wear their hair out of their helmets, that's also able to be used as a way to tackle somebody. But here, no.
So
yeah, and I think it may have been the almighty mask, not one of the wristbands that is around, your helmet or inside your head under your helmet. That may have been DiDomenico's mask. Nonetheless, it's a penalty. The ball on the 11.
All the way to the 11. 2 receivers far side, 1 to the near. DiDomenico takes the snap, wants to throw, looking left, now looks right, has a man, and it's incomplete.
Edwards on a little skinny post there, Tony, and if that ball is probably a foot higher, he probably makes a nice sliding catch around the 1. But good coverage in the secondary as well to recognize that.
Noah Flores on the coverage. DiDomenico tried to just pigeonhole it right into a small window.
That's like the basement window of the, the homes on the East Coast. You can try to crawl in.
All right, a 2 tight end set. Rangers shift. DiDomenico with 2 receivers left, looking that way. Has some pressure, now tries to avoid it. Breaks a tackle, heads for the end zone. He's in the end zone, and there's a touchdown as both quarterbacks have scored here in the opening quarter. 1:53 to go in the first. It's 6-6 with the extra point to come.
A good choice. DiDomenico breaks contain, comes near side to us, Tony, and really didn't have a receiver, but it's hard for the defense to recognize if someone's covered or not, and Max DiDomenico just outraces the defense to this near front pylon.
One of the linebackers tried to chase him about the 10. The extra point kick is up, and this one is good. So it's a 7-6 lead for Clemens. 1:53 to go in the opening frame. There's timeout on the field on the Ranger Network.
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions. Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by
A whole lot of things have changed over the past few months, but some things have stayed just the same. Here at Smithson Valley, we are still making your kids smile. You may not see that as easily with those masks on, but those smiles are just beneath. And when all this passes, and it will, you'll really be reminded of how we just keep making them smile. Thank you for your trust and support, and get your guns up.
.153 to go in the first quarter, 7-6. Clemens on top of Smithson Valley. Each quarterback has scored a touchdown for its respective team. Smithson Valley just unable to convert the extra point, and Clemens was. That's the 7-6 score. They will kick off. Noah Villegas with the wind at his back. Rangers deep. This is a line drive. They'll bounce a couple of times, and they'll stop it. What on earth? I don't see a flag. Did our referee not signal for them to go? Is that what it is?
That could have been it. Maybe they're virtual flags tonight, Tony.
My guess is because there was no flag, and because I don't know, they're holding the kick now. Did it fall off the tee and he kicked it? Is that what it was? So if it did do that, then that's why they called it back. So it'll be held now by Edwards. Villegas puts a toe to it. End over end kick near side. Fielded by Flores inside the 5. Comes near sideline. Gets by one guy. Then gets wrapped up and it goes to and gets hit kind of high late. But gets up to 27. And we'll see what we'll get here as the Rangers have it at the 27 after the return by Flores. There is a penalty flag right there, and it might be that late hit, I think, because he hit him high and
towards the head
when he was on the ground.
Yes. That's going to be a complimentary 15.
So instead of the 20, one of the officials comes over to the side judge, comes over and talks with Coach Johnston. It's too far up, wasn't it? Was the flag cleared up here?
It was thrown as actually there's two. So
yeah, you're right. See what our call is. Unsportsmanlike. He's talking with the head linesman as he's making the signal. Against Smithson Valley, personal foul against them. So they offset. So two penalties, one against Smithson Valley, one against Clemens. So the ball will stay at the 27, 1st and 10 for the Rangers.
I saw the personal foul, the unsportsmanlike had to come in late, and I tell you, that was a gift.
Yeah. So Nutt will send two receivers to the far side, one to the near. One set back beside him. Nutt wants to roll, hands it off late. Hoskins comes this way, tries to skirt between a couple of defenders and gets brought down in a heap. Nice job by one of the middle guys. Looked like Garcia. Sebastian Garcia in on the tackle. A gain of a yard at 2nd and 9.
The running lanes are there, Tony, but they're not staying open. You know, you got that B gap between the guard and the tackle. It's a good place to run, but it's only open for a hot second, and then it seems like the Buffaloes are just telling you no room at the end.
With all of Nutt's rollouts, that time they just handed it off the rollout. Now Nutt's got a designated run, comes to the near side, does cut back, now goes right, goes over the 30 to the 35 where he's brought down in a heap by, gosh, they are
a whole host of Buffaloes on that one.
Their numbers are so hard to decide. They're skinny and they're tall and there's not much differentiation. A 2-digit number it looks like one clump.
Well, good
so the ball's at the 35. The stick needs to move. It's 3rd down and 2 from the 35 on a gain of about 7 that time.
Good vision by Nutt to cut the ball back inside.
So two receivers far side, one near, two backs in the backfield. Nutt takes the snap, wants to roll, has a man, and he underthrows him. Intended for Maverick Freeman, and he threw it low, and it goes incomplete, and the Rangers, with 16 seconds to go as the clock stops on the incomplete pass, will have to punt Into the wind again.
It's a good choice. It just was you have a 6'4" receiver. You want to throw that ball high. Anywhere above the waist is great. Anywhere below it, and you're going to have a difficult catch. And right there, that was about at the socks.
The punt. This one low, kind of a line drive. Gets a decent roll and will roll inside the 35 to about the 33. So a 32-yard punt. No return. Clemens will have the ball with 7 seconds to go in the first half. They'll get one play with the win from the 32.
No return, first and 10 Buffaloes from their 32.
Ranger defense trying to figure out how they stop Max DiDomenico.
Tony, the Rangers also hurting themselves execution-wise. A missed extra point, and then here on third down, receiver was open, ball was underthrown.
Play clock begins. DiDomenico keeps it after a fake to Williams. Gets tackled on the edge by the outside linebacker on the play, which is Toby West. And that'll be the last play of the first quarter. 7-6. Clemens leads the Rangers. After 1 quarter of play, there's a timeout on the Ranger Network.
What's your Wi-Fi score? With the GVTC Wi-Fi Score Quiz, you can determine the Wi-Fi speed to suit your needs. The techno-dexterous? Stay connected in every way. Take our quick Wi-Fi score quiz today at gvtc.com/Wi-Fi score and make sure your connection is up to speed.
I'm Dr. Matt Bayless with Summerhill Dental. If you've been putting off going to see the dentist out of fear, I want you to know that it's time to go see your dentist. We have a procedure in place on how we intake patients and how we handle all patients to make sure everybody's experience here at our office is safe and productive. People have been afraid to go to the dentist just for a routine cleaning, but we've got you covered. It's time to come back and see your dentist. Summerhill Dental, your Smithson Valley dentist.
A whole lot of things have changed over the past few months, but some things have stayed just the same. Here at Smithson Valley, we are still making your kids smile. You may not see that as easily with those masks on, but those smiles are just beneath. And when all this passes,
a sweep from the receiver, near side, breaks a tackle, squirms up to the 45. Good looking run that time. Well, that was actually Amari Williams, who came from a receiver slot on the far side this way, gets first down yardage out to the 46. It's 1st and 10.
Old school, you'd call him a wingbat. He came from that slot position, Tony, far side to near side, running towards his own sideline, and good blocking, because a lot of time on the edge, you see that hanky fall because you have a wide receiver grabbing or pulling or a block in the back right there. The Buffaloes stayed on their blockers, and a good gain.
DiDomenico out of the shotgun. Fakes it to Williams, keeps it himself, goes wide. A bunch of Rangers are there. He'll muscle ahead for about a yard or two. Spot him up to the 47. That's a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Both defensive fronts doing a really good job in stringing out the running plays. It's tough to go sideline to sideline. These two teams are playoff caliber teams, so they're not going to give you a lot to turn the corner. You're going to have to go slanting off tackle, find those running lanes, maybe come back in the second half with some counter plays to move the front 4 or 7 around to get some good rushing lanes, because rushing yards are at a premium.
Both lines being asked to do a lot tonight. DiDomenico gives it to Williams up the middle, tries to spin. Get hit a couple of times. Woods put a finishing mark on him down at the bottom of the pile. That looks like that was Malachi Lane that might have got to him first.
Just really a stalemate. Both offensive and defensive lines for each respective team doing a great job of just, gap protection. You don't have to get a lot of push into the backfield, but you basically stop up the running lanes, and it's just a 8-man pileup.
3rd and 8 from the 47. 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. DiDomenico wants to throw. Quarterback draw a look. He does throw it out to the far side. That's Edwards. He catches it inside the 50, gets up to about the 45, maybe the 44, and it looks like he'll be just shy of a first down. As they say, he stepped out of bounds at the 45.
Well, good read by DiDomenico. Pressure was coming from the near side off the edge. DiDomenico steps up in the pocket, and I tell you, Andrew Edwards, a good-looking receiver, number 4. I think there he probably should have pushed a little bit more to get that first down as 4th and 1.
Kind of looked like he tried to turn up and stepped out of bounds, must have early, because I thought he got past the stick. DiDomenico up under center, going to try to draw the Rangers off again. Play clock at 4. Is he going to do a quarterback sneak? He is. They got to push. The Rangers got to push back, and they stopped him. The interior part of the defensive line forced both guards in the center backwards, and the Rangers stop him on 4th down.
That was a great play and a great push by the Rangers. Don't get fancy and tricky. Just get up under center and push and get your 3 feet and move the chains. There's no – I never understood this, Tony. You're looking over to the sideline and back and over to the sideline. Get up under center. You've got a prolific quarterback who knows how to run that can slide left or right in the A-gap, and then you do all that. The play clock ran down, and the Rangers knew to get the push.
Unbelievable. Rangers 1st and 10 from the 49 of Clemens. Hoskins runs, gets hit, gets knocked down, gets up again, then runs into another defender. And that is no good for the run. Give him a gain. Actually, the ball started at the 47, not the 49, pardon me, of Smithson Valley. A gain of 3 by Hoskins, who got popped a couple of times. The last one by Apostle Ellis. And he earned his money for that run of about 3 yards.
That's 3 times more than what the Buffaloes would have needed on 4th down. At least it was gutsy running there by the Rangers.
Nutt with 2 receivers on the far side, 1 near, fakes a handoff, throws it to Maverick. He's not going very far, though, as the defensive back caught him in a hurry. That's Postal Ellis again. He's all over the place. And Miles Curry also on the play. Curry's been a really effective corner tonight, all over the place when he's covering people. He's been very effective.
Well, his assignment perfect so far. He's not getting drawn by the scheme. He's not getting fooled by the routes. And effectively, he's just sitting down and saying, I don't believe you can run by me, and he's playing well.
With the wind at their back, it's 3rd down and 6 from the 49 of Clemens. Nutt with an empty backfield. Stop and go route. He's got a man open. It's Freeman on the left sideline. He's down past the 30, inside the 20 before he's wrestled out of bounds by the safety on the play. And Maverick Freeman got loose on a stop and go type route as Nutt did a nice ball fake, and the completion gets the Rangers all the way inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Right there, that was great execution. I think Jalen Nutt realized I got a 6'4 receiver. If I throw the ball anywhere above his waist, and the pump fake actually got the receiver open, and a good choice by Nutt.
So the 31-yard gain sets him up at the 18. The fake to Hoskins. Nutt's on the run, coming right side, near side, gets inside the 10, spins around and gets pushed back. They'll credit him inside the 10, I believe. That'll be about a yard or 2 shy of a first down. Good job by Jalen Nutt, just being patient and taking what they gave him.
Well, let's go back to the previous play. A great scheme, patience, and a really good throw, because the last series, Nutt missed a wide open Maverick Freeland, and right there, that was on the money on the far side. And just to see a galloping 6'4 receiver just going down the sidelines, that's what Smithson Valley needs now as they're inside the red zone at the 10.
So at the 10, it's 2nd down and about a yard to go. Motion now from the receiver. Nutt follows blockers, goes inside the 10, inside the 5, inside the end zone. Jalen Nutt is 2nd score of the night, and the Rangers take the lead of 12-7 with the extra point to come.
just a lot of effort by number 4 in white at the end. Breaks a tackle, comes near side, Tony. And again, getting the pad square to the defenders makes it more difficult to get your arms around a tackler and their size and strength and speed. And it gets into the end zone.
Hosier comes on for the extra point after missing his first of the season earlier in the half. This one with the wind at his back is straight up and through. It's 13-7. The Rangers go up by 6 points with 6:54 to go in the second quarter. We're back after this timeout on the Ranger Network.
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions.
A whole lot of things have changed over the past few months, but some things have stayed just the same. Here at Smithson Valley, we are still making your kids smile. You may not see that as easily with those masks on, but those smiles are just beneath. And when all this passes, and it will, you'll really be reminded of how we just keep making them smile. Thank you for your trust and support, and get your guns up.
The Rangers have regained the lead, 13-7, 6:54 to go second quarter. Rangers have scored twice with Jalen Nutt's legs after a big pass play on that drive. The Rangers march down the field with the wind at their back, a 53-yard drive with 6 plays. And now the Rangers will kick it off. Hosier, end-over-end kick, sails towards the end zone, into the end zone, and out of the end zone all the way. With the wind at his back, Austin said, I'll make sure no one returns this one, and it's 1st and 10 and 20. 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Buffaloes.
And Tony,
25, I'm pardon. It's not a punt, it's a kickoff. Yes.
We go back to that last drive. It was 53 yards, but again, you see the leadership as we speak about these quarterbacks, and if you don't put pressure on them, they're going to hurt you in some type of way.
DiDomenico comes with 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. A lone setback is Williams. The senior gives it to him this time. Chase from behind as that was Camden Egley, pardon me. That was he the one that got in the backfield? Was he blitzing?
I tell you, it looked like it was a run blitz from that third level, and I was going to mention the just swarming type of defense to the ball, and Smithson Valley not giving the Buffaloes a lot of opportunity to run between the tackles.
Still 3 yards on the gain, but it's 2nd and 7 as the Rangers defense continues to be very active. Here's a pass to the near sideline. It's caught, bumped by the corner, then tackled by the linebacker Lane. Flores got a piece of him. It's a gain of about 5 up to the 33, and it's 3rd down and 2.
Nice timing route. Really just get 5 yards and stop, and DiDomenico already had the ball on its way near side coming to us, and you got to catch that because the defense immediately stops the receiver.
3rd and 2. You'd figure DiDomenico would probably try to scramble for this. He wants to throw, has some pressure, has more pressure. He's surrounded, and then he gets out of it. Goodness sakes, he'll float a pass in the air, intended for and caught by Edwards up near midfield. It's a 1st down for the Buffaloes.
Yes, a great extended play by Max DiDomenico, the quarterback, but an even smarter play by number 4, Andrew Edwards, in front of us, because he recognized the most important thing was to catch the ball, not run after the catch. And Tony, a lot of people try to run after the catch and make, a ridiculous move where all you wanted to do was get a 1st down to continue the drive.
Andrew Edwards has had several receptions tonight, came into the game with 175 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. DiDomenico gives it to Williams up the middle, has a seam, bounces off a tackler, gets across midfield to the 47. That'll be a gain of about 6 before he's brought down. We'll call it 5 at the 48.
It's a good gain on first down, Tony, and
yes,
nice change of pace after DiDomenico pulling out his best Houdini. Really, it looked like the Rangers had him in jail and was going to get him for a huge loss.
They did have him in jail, and he got out. 2 receivers far side, 1 near. The setback is Williams. DiDomenico fakes it. Now he wants to throw. Has a man nearby and delivers it in successfully to his fullback, Joey Ray, the senior who had 1 receiver this season thus far, unable to hang on to it. It's 3rd and 5.
And for most, that would have probably been fairly easy, but you had a fullback running away from the quarterback, and the ball was on his backside hip, so he was going to have to turn back and bring the ball in. And someone who's not really used to catching the ball on the offensive side, it's going to be more difficult.
Tough pass position. DiDomenico really had time to give it to him. In fact, he kind of waved him up the field so he could throw it to him and then made a late throw. 2 receivers. Well, 3 receivers to the far side. Quarterback, here's a blitz. Lane tried to get him. Now he's being chased. He throws it late. There's Edwards. Somehow finds a way to get open. Tackled by Bowman, but not till he gets to the 35, and another first down for the Buffaloes.
Andrew Edwards I just think he's a quality football player, Tony, and he understands. He and Max have played together for a while now, and Andrew Edwards in front of us just settles down and finds a spot past the first down markers, and it allows DiDomenico to almost just heave the ball to him, but he was set, and he just made himself available for the quarterback.
2 receivers topside. There's a tight end on either side of the line. Single setback behind DiDomenico. Now motion from Edwards. DiDomenico wants to run, finds a seam up the middle. On first down, he'll get about 3 to the 32. Brought down by a bunch of Rangers. Gavin Woods, one of those in there. A gain of 3 on first down. It's 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7 from the 32.
Well, as active as these quarterbacks are, Tony, their action, whatever they do, really keeps the defense kind of guessing, is it going to be a run, is it going to be a pass? We've seen it now in the blue jerseys and in the white jerseys.
2 receivers, both to the top side. 2 tight ends on the line. The lone setback is Williams, now to the right of DiDomenico. This is a design run in from the outside, a nice tackle. I think that's either the end of the linebacker. I can't see him on the floor. That's Malachi Lane, who blitzed in from the far sideline, got to the legs of DiDomenico before he could get upfield. A gain of a half a yard. So it's a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd and 6. They need to get to the Ranger 25. The ball's on the 31.
Pretty good close. And you see, with quality teams, defenses flow very well. So that's why, misdirection and having quarterbacks with the ability to change directions with the football can be so damaging against a defense that flows very well.
Looks like we brought in 5 defensive backs. 3 receivers far side, 1 near. DiDomenico here's a blitz. They're chasing him. Frash was on the blitz. Now one man that can get him, but they don't. Wow, the Rangers had a chance to stop him about the 30, but couldn't stop the big quarterback. It's first down yardage inside the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Well, DiDomenico needed to get past the 25. He knew it. It seemed like he hit a little burst at the end, Tony, to try to push him way past the 25. He does. He gets the ball spotted right there inside the stripe at the 24.
10th play of the drive into the win throughout the second quarter. 1:50 to go. DiDomenico rolls to his left. Has the option to throw or pass. He gets hit after he gets rid of it, and it goes incomplete. I think that was Trey Moore, who was chasing him and got a piece of him right as he let go of the ball. It's incomplete and brings up 2nd down.
DiDomenico found the right receiver to be open, but again, with a lot of pressure, it makes a difference in how you throw the ball and how you feel that defender is barreling down. And near side to us, Max just felt a lot of pressure. And as you mentioned, you have a sizable defender with a lot of speed coming at you.
Trey Moore buckled over during the between play time. He's tired. That was a long chase. DiDomenico's going to throw it to his running back. A little screen out to the left side. Williams breaks one tackle, then gets inside the 20. Frash was there along with De Hoyos.
Domenico's pass complete to Amari Williams.
The ball will be spotted.
Tackle by David De Hoyos.
Well, they're going to say either the 18 or the 19. It'll be third down and about 5.
Gain of 5, third down and 5.
Well, that was probably both coaches believe in a win-win, good yardage to make it third and manageable, but the Rangers, great pursuit, again, breaks up a gain that could have gone for much more yardage.
3 receivers far side, 2 to the near. Williams is one of the receivers in the slot on the near side. DiDomenico with an empty backfield will do a quarterback draw. That's what I was anticipating, but the defensive line spies him and throws him down. Frash was there. Trey Moore was there. Egley was there. The Rangers kind of had a feeling that's what he was going to do, and the quarterback draw doesn't work. And are they going to bring their field goal kicker in, or what will they do? That looks like, yeah, Villegas.
38.
Villegas just a junior. Ball will be spotted at the 28, a 38-yard field goal. That is, that's 7 yards deep from the line of scrimmage. Everybody's doing 8 now, so I'm kind of surprised if they stay up there. Probably trying to get every foot he can, get closer into this wind. I'm surprised they're even trying a field goal. Timeout as the clock was winding down. 4 seconds to go on 4th and 7. We'll keep it here as they're still I'm really shocked he's going to try to kick a ball almost 40 yards into a wind that has been both strong left to right and far side to near.
I am not a wind expert, but there's something to that because we've seen the punts not go exactly as you would think, even though we're looking at the flags and we're looking at the tops of the field goal post. You know, it's just tricky.
Yeah.
And kickers they're different. They're part of the team, but they're a little different. And so you just hope that the psyche is good and that you just follow through. It's almost like swinging a golf club. Don't necessarily work. Just do what you know to do technique-wise and let the ball go towards the target. Hopefully here,
Villegas believes he's going to get it.
Right.
He really does.
He's doing everything pre-kick properly.
Yeah. So it'll be a 38-yard try from the junior right-footed kicker. Not a big guy. The snap's good. The hold goes down. It's up in the air. It's got a chance, but I think it'll fall short, and it will. So as time runs out at the end of the first half, it is a no-good field goal, and the Rangers go to the locker room up 13-7. We'll have some stats. We'll have some other scores from around the district, and we'll do all kinds of things at the halftime here on the Ranger Network.
Hi, I'm Monique Orcasitas with Sage Capital Bank. I'm the branch manager, and with me is
Sam Pedraza, head teller.
It's halftime at Ranger Stadium.
My favorite are the Silver Spurs.
My favorite's the color guard.
Go Rangers!
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions.
What's your Wi-Fi score? With the GVTC Wi-Fi Score Quiz, you can determine the Wi-Fi speed to suit your needs. The techno-dexterous? Stay connected in every way. Take our quick Wi-Fi Score Quiz today at gvtc.com/Wi-Fi Score and make sure your connection is up to speed.
I'm Dr. Matt Bayless with Summerhill Dental. If you've been putting off going to see the dentist out of fear, I want you to know that it's time to go see your dentist. We have a procedure in place on how we intake patients and how we handle all patients to make sure everybody's experience here at our office is safe and productive. People have been afraid to go to the dentist just for a routine cleaning, but we've got you covered. It's time to come back and see your dentist. Summerhill Dental, your Smithson Valley dentist.
As we look forward to the 2020 season, Rangers Network is celebrating the 45th anniversary of Smithson Valley High School football by taking a look at monumental plays throughout Ranger history that form the building blocks that shape our foundation for success and weave the tradition that is Ranger football. Head coach Larry Hill has reunited the coaches and players to relive the magical moments one more time. Get your guns up for the year 2004.
Welcome to our show where we relive some of the more memorable moments in Ranger football history. Today's episode, first of two episodes, are about the 2004 season, which was a memorable season as most Ranger fans recall. Season started off a little bit uneven. We had a tough loss to a Pflugerville team in a last non-district game. And then the second district game, we had a tough 30-15 loss to the Judson Rockets. So, we're 3-2 at the end of September. I don't think at that point anyone necessarily is predicting this team to go all the way down to the last play of the last game in Texas Stadium. But the team finishes the regular season with 5 straight wins in district play, and they begin to the playoffs with a 38-21 win over San Marcos. So then we roll into Ferris Stadium for the second round matchup with the Clark Cougars and Jarrell Wilkerson, the all-time leading rusher in San Antonio history. The game was a little bit back and forth. The Rangers hold a slight lead going into the second half, and midway through the third quarter, Clark has the ball on the Rangers' end of the field, and then it happens. Today's first play, the shot heard around the world. One sudden and dramatic play completely changes the whole complexion of the game. It energizes one team and its fan base, completely demoralizing the opponents and their fan base. So we're going to bring in Coach Joe Muchigamba, our defensive coordinator for 21 years and was the defensive coordinator on that day. Coach Mooch, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Coach Joe. Good to see you.
Well, thanks for being here. Well, what are we fixing to see here? Let's go to the tape. And on the tape, we've got it frozen here, but what's fixing to happen here?
Well, you fix to see what the big hit right now that probably gets you thrown out of a game these days. And we get a couple of guys doing their jobs defensively, turn the ball back in where it needs to be, and then you got another one coming from the inside out where he needs to be, and it just kind of the perfect storm, I guess you would say.
Well, let's take the first look, and then we'll run it back. Okay? We got middle linebacker Joe Pavelic on the right. The all-time leading rusher in San Antonio history, Jarrell Wilkerson, is circled on the left, and X marks the spot. There's fixing to be quite a collision, and I'm going to let it run through. Let's just take a look. Ball's up inside. Bam. Ball's out. Recover. Sideline goes crazy. Clark's a little demoralized. Things aren't going real well. You can see Jarrell says no mas, and I think everybody on Clark agreed with that. So joining us now is the man who made that play, Joe Pavelic. Joe, of course, made many of these type of plays in his career here at Smithson Valley and his All-American years playing for Baylor University. So, Joe, thanks for coming on.
Phil, nice to be here. Good to see your face.
Well, yeah. Well, what do you remember about this play? You might have seen it right then for the first time in a while. What do you remember?
It's been a while. Look at those big old pads we had. It's crazy, huh? We were going back and forth. We knew that Jarrell Wilkerson was a hell of a player, so we knew it was going to be a long day chasing him around, and he won a couple plays. And I don't know, was that third and 1, 4th and 1? It was short yardage late in the downs there. Right. And you're just trying to make a play. So
Well, there were about 10, 12,000 people there that day, and I think every one of them still remember it. I do know this: the game was over. When there was still a quarter and a half to go, we had a slim lead, but it was over. We went down, scored, stopped them, scored again, stopped them again, scored again, and we rolled to a 48-20 second round win. So let's go back. Let's go look at it again, and let's take a look. Slow mo, bam. Ball's out. Nathan's on it. Everybody's energized. Clark, maybe not so much. So good times. Good times. So one more time from the top. Ball's supposed to go outside. Can't go outside. Michael Kovar turns it back in. Ball's up inside.
Watch Ray with the setup there, huh, Ray?
Yeah, I think Ray missing that tackle was the setup. He had said earlier in the game
he just got his pad level up for me.
That's what he did. He's just always a setup man. Always a setup man.
See,
good times.
Go back, Coach. Look at the. I don't know if that's the best third one technique there. Look at my pad level straight to the sideline.
Yeah, you're running around a block here, which you're not supposed to do.
Ground and get downhill.
Yeah, perfect storm. Ball's out. Here we go. Fired up. I know that. There was a little bit of electricity in the air when that happened. There you are on the sideline, a little younger version of yourself.
Yes, sir.
Good times. Good times. Well, that game's over. And because it's over and we win, we're going on to the third round now. And we're going to go into the Alamo Dome and face a 12-0 San Benito team. There are about 27,000 people in the Dome that day. And I'm not sure all of them were cheering for us, but it was quite an atmosphere. I do remember that. So we're going to bring Coach Craig Worstifer in to join us. Coach Worsty, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Coach. Good to see you.
Yeah, what do you remember about the build up to that game?
I remember it being Thanksgiving weekend, and it seemed like the whole Valley came to San Antonio to do some shopping and watch some football. It seems like there were some other Valley teams playing right after us, and I remember the Dome being packed and loud.
Packed and loud, and I don't think everybody was cheering for us.
No, there was a lot of people on the other side of the stadium.
Well, do you remember a play that jump-started us? We ended up rolling to a big win, but early on something started us. You remember about that play?
I remember, stopping them and getting a good punt, and then a young man by the name of Andrew Sendejo caught that punt and decided to take it to the house. Had some good blocks along there, pressured the punter pretty good, and disrupted their coverage. Kind of turned the game for us a little bit.
Let's take a look at that play. Just real quick, and then we'll come back to it. It all went downhill for them here in the beginning. They're punting, as you can see. Get a little bit of pressure. Look like Joe misses there. He doesn't miss, doesn't get it.
We got Joe Pavelic and Trey Rios coming off the edge there. Almost got it.
There's Andrew Sendejo.
Always tell him we got to make the first one miss. And he did. Got to make the
first one miss, but let's let it run. Andrew goes ahead and makes first one miss, second one miss, fourth one miss. Now he's out running them all. There's Nathan Garrett. Lateral me the ball, lateral left, didn't he? Not sure if that's what he's doing or not, but got us off to a great start, and we go and roll from there. So, joining us now, I guess, is the guy who weaved downfield for that punt return, Andrew Sendejo, still playing this game in the NFL, just signed with the Cleveland Browns for another year. Andrew, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. What's up, Coach?
Well, you're doing great. Good to hear your voice again. And you've had a few memorable plays in your career here, of course, at Rice and in your NFL career. But do you remember this play?
Yeah, it was. Even like Coach Roshi talking about the build-up to the game. I remember watching the film all week from their home games, and the whole end zone. There wasn't even any bleachers. They were just all tailgating in their trucks. I mean, it was packed. Watching the film all week. These guys look great on film, so we had to respect them. But, this play, obviously, if you look at it, it almost didn't even get off. We had about three guys that almost blocked the punt, forced the guy, short legs it, punts it about 25 yards. The guys couldn't get downfield and cover, and then opened up some seams. some good blocks, some good no blocks. You know, everyone playing smart, no penalties, and was able to get into the end zone.
Yeah, pretty good player returning him too. I appreciate your modesty here, but let's get it started. There's Joe, 40. Well, let's go back. Let's run that back. I think we've got 3 guys who are pressuring this punt. Joe's one of them there. Joe,
Eric Anders in there as well.
Yeah.
Rios.
Yeah.
Chris Staley.
37 there on the left. We got old Trey Rios coming off the edge right here. Joe falls down. Get a good block right there. Little Drew Hamilton's keeping one of them off of you, but you got to make that guy miss, and you do. Okay, then right there is Jonathan Ulrich, 88, name from the past. And then here we go. We're up the field and big play early on, and I think that gave us momentum, and we roll from there to a big win. And third round game is ours. So that then now takes you on to the 4th round. Okay, we're back at Ferris Stadium, where we had been on Joe's hit on Wilkerson a few weeks before. A very bright and sunny afternoon. It's a quarterfinal game. Winner's going to go on to the state semifinals, and Taft. We played Taft. This is the 3rd year in a row we played Taft in the playoffs, and they had a great football team. And, Taft starts the game off and goes right down and scores, and our offense struggles, and they're moving the ball again. And, it's not looking good. It's clear that something has got to happen to spark us. And once again, the defense and Andrew Sendejo, they step it up. So let's bring Coach Muchigamba back, and let's bring Andrew Sendejo back. And gentlemen, thanks for coming back. And Coach Mooch, what do you remember about this game and how it's going early on?
Oh, it was pretty back and forth and pretty heated. Like you said, we played them a couple of years, and there wasn't a lot of love between those two teams because it's at that point of the year. It's late and someone's fixing to go home.
Yep. Someone's going home, and someone's going to the semifinals the next week. And they went right down, scored like we weren't even there. We went 3 and out and punted the ball back to them, and then we got to do something. So, Andrew, you've had a lot of big moments, but do you remember this play?
Yeah, I think it was wasn't it close to halftime too. I think it was around that time, but I remember before someone was just saying, like, we got to make a play, and that's what's so crazy about this game is that you don't ever know when it's going to be you. After watching this clip, they started the playoff terribly. Fumble the snap, kick it around, play a little soccer. There's about 3 guys that almost sack him before he just lobs it up. You would think that it should be an interception at that point. But the way the play unfolded it just so happened to be a bad duck pass, and I was right there on the guy. Just happened to get it on the run in stride.
You bet. Well, let's take a look at it, and we'll break it down. You're right. They get a little bit of a bad snap. There's the ball on the ground, picks it up. We get a little pressure there. He makes one guy miss, 2 guys miss, and now he launches, and right in front of our bench, you undercut it. And here we go. We're going 40 yards for the touchdown, ties the game, allows us to get going, and, got a big celebration there in the end zone. I just think we felt like we were onto some stuff there. Let's take a look at it again from a different angle, a little tighter angle. You can see we're showing blitz there, Coach Mooch. You're trying to scare him, I guess, huh?
Trying to scare him.
It's like we're showing a little whack it there, but then we're going to back out of it. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I think he shook the center up a little bit because he had the gap one way and kind of bad snapped it, and that kind of started everything.
Well, he had Eric Anders and Moxie right there breathing on him. So down low.
Yes, sir.
Kind of let that go. You can see a ball right there. Now I got to pick this up. Joe's smelling blood, so he comes in there, but he misses. Okay. And then, we miss again with Kovar, and then Moxie comes in. I'll try to slow that down. Moxie comes in low and just forces him to throw it, and then there's the ball of it, and then Andrew undercuts it right in front of our bench. Goes the distance, and, much like the 2 previous playoff wins, this play inspires us, and we go on and end up winning 42-24. The offense gets going. The defense continues to hold. Smithson Valley's back in the semifinals for the 3rd time in 4 years. So, the first 3 rounds of the playoffs, and the defense carries the day and carries the Rangers. The shot heard around the world, and 2 sudden and dramatic touchdowns by the defense and special teams, and on to the semifinals we go. And, stay tuned for our next episode when the defensive fireworks will continue to erupt as the 2004 Rangers win again in the semifinals and take the state championship game down to the last play. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Kim Acker, construction lender at Sage Capital Bank. I just want to say those Ranger cheerleaders are doing a great job. Keep it up. Go Rangers!
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions.
A whole lot of things have changed over the past few months, but some things have stayed just the same. Here at Smithson Valley, we are still making your kids smile. You may not see that as easily with those masks on, but those smiles are just beneath. And when all this passes, and it will, you'll really be reminded of how we just keep making them smile. Thank you for your trust and support, and get your guns up.
What's your Wi-Fi score? With the GVTC Wi-Fi Score Quiz, you can determine the Wi-Fi speed to suit your needs. The tech aces? Well, they're on another level. Take our quick Wi-Fi score quiz today at gvtc.com/Wi-Fi score and make sure your connection is up to speed.
I'm Dr. Matt Bayless with Summerhill Dental. If you've been putting off going to see the dentist out of fear, I want you to know that it's time to go see your dentist. We have a procedure in place on how we intake patients and how we handle all patients to make sure everybody's experience here at our office is safe and productive. People have been afraid to go to the dentist just for a routine cleaning, but we've got you covered. It's time to come back and see your dentist. Summerhill Dental, your Smithson Valley dentist.
What's your Wi-Fi score? With the GVTC Wi-Fi Score Quiz, you can determine the Wi-Fi speed to suit your needs. The techno-dexterous? Stay connected in every way. Take our quick Wi-Fi score quiz today at gvtc.com/Wi-Fi score and make sure your connection is up to speed.
At Lehnhoff Stadium in Schertz, Texas, Smithson Valley leads the Clemens Buffaloes 13-7. Smithson Valley got on the board first in the first quarter after a miscue on the opening kickoff. Jalen Nutt rushed in from 6 yards out to make it 6-0. The extra point try failed due to the wind. Then later in that first quarter, Domenico scored from 11 yards out to make it 7-6 after they kicked the extra point. And then toward the end of the first half, Jalen Nutt ran it in again from 10 yards out on a drive that covered 53 yards. It made it 13-7 after the extra point, and that's where we're at right now. Clemens tried to put a drive together through the last minutes of the second quarter and failed on a 38-yard field goal as time expired. Again, 13-7, your halftime score.
Tony, there's been big plays, there's been miscues. Not sure if it is all on the element of wind. Nonetheless, you cannot turn the ball over. That's the cardinal sin, regardless if it's on special teams or if it's on offense. And as you mentioned, the first opportunity for Smithson Valley to get points on the board resulted in a miscue from the opening kickoff, and that's a short field resulting in a quick 6 points. Then you look at Domenico, Schertz Clemens, and we spoke about this offline, has outgained in yards. Sure, Smithson Valley, and still the score results in Smithson Valley being up 13-7 at this point. The most dangerous players for both of these teams are the field generals, the quarterbacks, and as we saw on the second tally for Smithson Valley, a great connection from quarterback to receiver. Jalen Nutt to Maverick Freeland, which really gave the momentum to Smithson Valley to get inside the red zone, and then from there the athleticism of number 4 in white, Nutt, goes 10 yards, breaks a tackle coming near side to us. This game is going to be affected by wind. We know it. We've seen it. And you've got to play through that. But turnovers and miscues, missed field goals at the end of the half by Schertz Clemens, that's going to play a part in the final outcome. And it's crazy that this game is called football. You don't see the kickers on the field very much, except important parts of the game, and it could come down to a missed extra point or a missed opportunity because of the wind. That can be the biggest, or one of the biggest factors in how this game ends up. And we know that one of these teams is really going to be in a bad way given this tough 27-6A district and trying to find 4 teams to go into the state playoffs.
Indeed, the stats, unofficially as they are, had Smithson Valley for 92 yards of offense in the first half, 60 on the ground, 32 through the pass. Clemens had 108 on the ground and 67 through the air, 175 total. That, again, unofficial stats, but that's what we have here at the half. Scores from around the district. I can tell you right now, Steele and New Braunfels were tied at the half at 14 all, and Wagner leads East Central at the half 35-7. Last night, Judson beat South San 18-0, and that means Judson, by the way, has improved to 3-0 in the district.
Yes.
Wagner with a win will go to 2-0.
Yes.
Steele and New Braunfels. Steele is 1-0, New Braunfels 0-1, and again they were tied last score we had. And the Rangers right now over Clemens, both teams 0-1. One of them will be 1-1, and the other will be 0-2.
That's a tough start.
And that is not. You don't want to be that team that's 0-2 for
no,
sure.
Sir. No, sir. Because again, the opponents. There's quality opponents in 27-6A. Every week, the names, you recognize them, Tony, because they've been in the state playoffs so many times.
So the Rangers already back onto the sideline with about 10 seconds to go on the halftime clock. Buffaloes just came through their banner and are making their way to the near sideline, so we should be ready to start the second half momentarily. The Rangers should receive the ball. I'm sure Clemens will take the wind to open the second half. That means the Rangers should have the wind in the fourth quarter if everything goes as expected.
Right.
Though it is interesting, Clemens got the call and they took the ball, and the Rangers kicked into the wind in the first quarter, and they had it in the second quarter, which proved quite efficient. Buffaloes do look like, though, they're going to kick into the wind to start the third quarter, and the Rangers will have the wind at their back in the third quarter.
Well, I think, that fourth quarter with these two teams could be tricky. I think it's to the advantage for the Rangers to have the lead, given that they won't have the wind.
Although they did score their first touchdown into the wind on the short field, the 30-yard field after the miscue. But they were able to get the ball in the end zone on that first drive into the wind.
That's right.
So the Rangers have scored into the wind and with the wind. The Buffaloes scored their touchdown with the wind at their back. So going back should be Bowman and Nutt. With the wind at their back, they are both somewhere near the 20, and that may be not deep enough. Villegas will kick off. The young man has a good leg. We've seen him kick for a couple of years now. And here it comes. Kind of a high kick, fielded by the Rangers and tackled immediately. That was
Noah Flores, right?
Flores, yeah, pardon me. Did I say Nutt earlier? It was Flores that was back with Bowman. Noah Flores. So the Rangers will have the ball, and they'll start at their own, well, let's say 33, and that's where they'll have 1st and 10. Opening drive of the second half. The Rangers lead it 13-7. Jalen Nutt in the shotgun with the receiver broke either way. Fakes it to Hoskins, wants to run himself, has some room on the right side and gets 4 or 5 yards. They'll mark him at the 42, a gain of 4. Brings up 2nd and 7.
Safe and, again, effective. You get 4 yards on first down, Tony, you're winning. Because now you can open up the playbook a little bit. Again, the most dangerous men for both of these offenses are the quarterbacks.
Without a doubt. Nutt, 3 receivers to his left. One's in motion now. They'll give the jet sweep. Coming this way, not much room. Cutting back inside, and there's a flag, probably an illegal block. Good looking run that time by one of the backup receivers. It's a sophomore, Chase Senelick, ran the jet sweep. He had some blockers on the near side. Tight end Domel, and I believe one of them was called. Have we got the signal yet? They're going to march it back. So I'm guessing it was a hold. Our umpire with his speed walk takes it to the 29.
Yes.
So 2nd and 15 now for the Rangers.
And again, a play that was really strung out very well by the Buffalo's defense coming near side to us.
Running side to side just hasn't worked real well for anybody. Nutt fakes it to Hoskins, has him open in the flat, has a man down the field, and just overthrows his tight end, Dylan Domel.
Looked like Domel slowed up just a little bit there.
I would not argue a bit. Domel got his left hand up, but didn't get both arms up to try to secure that ball that was over the top of his head. So the long incomplete pass on 2nd down brings up 3rd and long.
2-man pattern, Tony. One kind of underneath but near side to us, so we got a good look at it. It's a pretty good thrown pass.
2 receivers to either side. Nutt wants to throw. He's looking left down the sideline. That looks like Freeland, and the defensive back probably had a better chance at it that time. Looked like Curry had good inside position on Freeland as they tried a similar pass that they looked at before. This time Freeland was well covered by Curry, and the junior almost came up with the interception, but it's incomplete.
Blue 12 wins that one. And as you mentioned, Maverick Freeland had to play a little defense to ensure that that ball wasn't intercepted.
So 4th and 15 from the 29. 4th and 14, I should say. Wyatt Hayden with the wind at his back this time. Still kicks a line drive because every one of his punts is a line drive. This has a nice roll all the way to the 25 where Edwards picks it up. He gets spun around. He's still going up to the 45. A return of almost 20 yards by Mr. Edwards. And the Buffaloes have some momentum as we get ready for their first possession of the second half.
Well, it's nice to have kind of a utility player in number 4, Andrew Edwards, for the Buffaloes, and wisely didn't allow that hidden yardage on a punt to accumulate, picks up the ball bouncing towards his own end zone and makes the most of it and gets it almost to midfield, Tony.
55-yard punt, 19 yards on the return. From the 44, it's 1st and 10 for the Buffaloes. Domenico looks like he wants to run. Right side, far sideline, gets shoved out of bounds. I don't see a flag as it could have been late, but he gets about 2 yards, 3 yards up to the 47.
Good pursuit, far side by the Rangers. It's Max DiDomenico looking to break contain. Wasn't sure if he was going to run or pass. This run pass option, I'm not comfortable with this RPO. It's just spread them out football. It's more like flag football style, not tackle football. But again, a modest gain on first down.
Lane was the one chasing him. I didn't see it. Probably the cornerback over there pushed him out. DiDomenico fakes the throw, has a blitzer coming after him, almost to him. He breaks it, now tries to pop it up and throws it away. It was intercepted, but it's out of bounds. Good job by De Hoyos coming up with the ball, but he's out of bounds, so it's an incomplete pass and brings up 3rd and 7.
I tell you what, great inside-out pursuit. Frash is a linebacker that does have some speed, and he was chasing with all he had near side, so we were looking at 2-on-2. And I don't mean fast break in basketball, which I know you know about, Tony. Right there, that was a linebacker heading down and barreling on the Schertz Clemens quarterback.
So DiDomenico with blitz being shown by the defense. Takes the snap. 5 Rangers rush. He gets rid of the ball, and is it picked off on the far sideline? Noah Flores. Did he get the ball? The Rangers sure feel like he did, and that's an interception at the 45. It'll be Ranger ball.
Well, that was a great athletic play, as you mentioned, by number 13, Noah Flores, as he just vaults over the top of the receiver, and that being Jameer Dudley, made no attempt or play on the ball. And I tell you, Max DiDomenico threw a fastball to the far side of the field, but he expects his receiver to go get the ball and help him. Well, Noah Flores says, I'll take it, and he does.
So the Rangers bring 1 receiver near side, 2 to the short side on the far side of the field. There's a backup running back with the ball now. Going left to edge, gets a couple of yards, not very much. Justin Avery, the senior, at 5'8", 180 pounds, gets a couple of yards. They'll mark him at the 48, a gain of 3. It's 2nd down and 7 before he was dragged down by a whole bunch of Buffalo defenders.
Well, it just shows you that these are 2 quality teams. Their defenses run well sideline to sideline. They're not going to allow a rusher to try to turn the corner.
3 receivers come near side. There's 1 on the far side. Now in motion. Faking the jet sweep. Nutt takes it straight up the middle. A nice looking run. Just, boy, the picture I saw there was Jalen Hurts from Oklahoma last year, just taking the snap and running through good blocks, going straight up the field. 9.5 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Rangers lead 13-7. 1st down for Jalen Nutt.
And yes, the name, and yes, he likes the Sooners. No issue there, but yes, Jalen Hurts, Jalen Nutt, both of them can run very well, Tony.
Rangers send 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. They'll give it to Hoskins. Tries to go right. Doesn't. Well, I'm telling you what, he had 1 blocker there on the edge, and 4 blue shirts engulfed him, and he ends up losing a yard on the play.
These defenses are just not going to allow a lot of sweeping action by ball carriers tonight. I mean, we've seen it. It's been very consistent. These teams pursue very well inside out. You're going to have to get them to commit one way and counter the ball and wall off, because right now trying to beat a defense to the edge is not working for either team.
The best runs have been run right up the middle with the quarterbacks. Nutt with an empty backfield. Acted like he wanted to run, now wants to throw. Now he has to run because they've got some pressure on him. He'll scramble ahead on 2nd down and get about 4 yards to the 40 before he's engulfed by several Buffaloes.
Good
Garcia
coverage,
among them.
Good coverage downfield.
Yes.
Wisely, Jalen Nutt uses his legs to pick up some positive yards, because I think if that ball would have been attempted to be caught downfield, that probably would have been incomplete, and you would have been looking at 3rd down and more than 10 yards to pick up the first.
Nutt might be slowed up a little bit. Looked like he came back to the huddle with a little bit of a hitch in his giddy up. There's a throw to the edge. It's caught. Can't see. I think that's Freeland again, the big wide receiver. Looks like he has 1st down yardage. He does, up near the 30-yard line, and I think they'll spot it at the 31. A nice gain on 3rd and 7, and the Rangers have a 1st down.
Yeah, and a good route. I thought that Freeland may have sat down before the yard marker, but I tell you, he catches the ball and quickly gets upfield, Tony, and picks up more than enough yardage to get a first down.
So at the 31, it's 1st and 10. The drive continues for the Rangers. 7:49 to go on your third quarter clock. It stops with the play out of bounds. Nutt with 2 backs in the backfield. Gives it to Hoskins coming this way. Tries to get to the edge, then tries to turn it up. And the offensive line helping him. Gets up to about the 28 before he's pushed back by a whole bunch of Buffaloes.
And Gabe Hoskins pleading. But again, these defenses just, they pursue so well, you're not going to get a lot of yardage. And these two teams are treating the rushers rude. They're going to throw you back. I mean, this is a football game, but you've got so much pursuit, and the whistle hasn't blown.
Right.
You just have to protect the ball, and you're going to take your lumps.
On the play, Kamani Evans, a defensive tackle, and free safety Devontae Hunter were both there pushing him back. So from the 28, it's 2nd and 7. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Nutt takes it. It's a quarterback run up the middle, finds a seam, busts through, gets near first down yardage. I think they'll spot him enough for a first down as they put the ball down near the 20. Again, a safety, Bryce Taylor in on the tackle, but it's a first down.
This looks like one of the captains, Evans possibly.
So a Buffalo is down on the field, 6:54 to go in the third quarter. Rangers holding on to a 13-7 lead. They're on the move. Started the drive at their own 45. They've run 7 plays so far, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20 when we resume play. We'll keep it here just a second as both the head coach and the trainers are looking at the injured player on the field. You said Kamani Evans. I believe that is who it is.
And that could be a big loss to this defensive front for the Buffaloes.
Looks like a right ankle, right knee. Not real sure, but he's getting helped off the field. The problem is, we don't have a height or weight on him, but I'm guessing 6'2", maybe 250.
At least, Tony.
And it's
At
like
least.
It's like it's a trainer and a student trainer trying. And two, if he's 6'2", they're 5'6", 5'7", and he's struggling to get off the field with their help as he comes to the near sideline.
And he is not a small young man. That is a student athlete with size, and he's been playing very well.
Yes.
Even though you don't make the tackles, as long as you're occupying blockers, that allows your teammates on that front line, and especially in the front 7, to then have an opportunity to disrupt an offensive play.
There is a senior named Douglas Ferguson who's listed as his backup. He or one of the other backups are probably out there. So here comes the Rangers. And is that rugby or is that football? Tell me. Tell me.
You know, Tony, the rule got changed. You could not necessarily assist or push a runner probably 15 or so years prior, but now you can, and it's not a penalty in assisting the rusher if you push the pile. So you see extra effort, and right there, Jalen Nutt probably got a complimentary 5 to 6 yards because the pile was moved forward.
First down yardage all the way inside the 10 at the 7. It's 1st and goal. Jalen Nutt is really racking up the numbers right now. 3 receivers come to the near side. There's one in motion. They'll fake the jet sweep, and Nutt will keep it, and he'll score for the 3rd time tonight as he goes over the goal line and gets bumped. And the Rangers will go up 20-7 with an extra point to come.
Well, that's
19-7. My math is getting better.
Well, the good thing is that you can report that there is a touchdown, and we ask about the loss of Evans. You see Smithson Valley taking advantage of going through that B gap on the left guard and center and tackle area, and a great run for a touchdown.
Snap was good. The hold was good. The kick is good. And the Rangers go up now 20-7 with the extra point. And with that 20-7 advantage, the Rangers on top. There's 6:04 to go in the third quarter on the Ranger Network.
podcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions.
We're back at Lehnhoff Stadium where the Rangers lead 20-7 after the lengthy drive, 55-yard drive. 9 plays, capped by a 7-yard touchdown run by Jalen Nutt, his 3rd score of the game. And the Rangers lead at 20-7. And they'll kick it off. As it'll be Austin Hosier, the senior, with the ball falling off the tee. So Blake Bowman will come and be the holder. They'll restart the play clock. Hosier gets his steps down. Rangers will kick it off with the wind at his back. Let's hope he can send it through the end zone again. This one not as deep. It'll land. Well, yes, it is. It lands on top of the letters in the end zone. That ball just kept going and going and going. It looked like it wasn't going to make it, and it did. So we're still at 6:04, and now the Buffaloes have the ball at their own 25 with 6:04 to go in the 3rd quarter.
You're going to have to be a very clairvoyant return man to try to come out of your end zone 7 yards deep and really put the ball past the 25.
Is that the Patterson guy for the Bears?
Yes.
Is one of the last ones we've seen do that much this season. So DiDomenico sends 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Takes the shotgun snap, gives it to Williams, has a crease up the middle, and then he just squirts right through. Across the 40 or 45, finally wrestled down by the secondary, De Hoyas and Andrew Montevallo. And not before he gets 23 yards up to the 47.
Well, that looked like sprints after practice, Tony. And right there,
they found a crease that time, didn't they?
They sure did.
We know Amari Williams can run fast. That time he showed it. Rangers still moving on the defensive line. DiDomenico wants to throw to the edge. He's out of bounds. That intended for Andrew Edwards, but he lost his footing and kind of slid with his feet out of bounds before the ball got there, even though it was thrown a little bit short.
It was, and I think Edwards was trying to make sure that he didn't get his feet out of bounds as he went down to catch a low pass. And, you don't think that Max DiDomenico is going to throw something that Edwards cannot catch, but right there, it short hopped him a little bit, and Edwards was mad, but I think that was more so DiDomenico.
I wonder if he tried to plant and come back to it and he just lost his feet. That's possible too. Everybody's tight now except for one on the near sideline. DiDomenico hands it off to Williams. The crease was there, but it got shut down in a hurry. Blake Bowman came up from his safety position. Also in on the play was Kale Williams, a sophomore defensive tackle who's in the game.
Well, you're correct. The initial win and push was for Schertz Clemens, but it closed quickly. And again, it's kind of a fool's gold type of rushing lane because it just closes before these rushers can get upfield.
Ranger defensive linemen really active tonight, moving around before the snap. Now they look like they want to blitz. DiDomenico wants to pass. There's a flag. Somebody moved early is my guess, or the play clock ran out maybe.
It's got to be movement, Tony. But you never know until
the illegal procedure. That'll cost him 5 yards. What was 3rd and 9 is now 3rd and 14.
And the good pressure by the Rangers up front and bring in just a little more pressure, because if you bring 5, Tony, you still can cover with 6. If you bring 6, you can still cover with 5. And you don't give a guy like Max DiDomenico the time to sort through the secondary, and you got to put pressure on a guy like that.
3-man rush this time. Now a late blitzer. Actually, Frash must be like a spy. They force him out of bounds. The throw goes out of bounds. It's incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down. They really got after Domenico that time as he threw the ball. I think that is Trey Moore again who gave him a shove out of bounds.
I tell you, it's impressive speed by the front 3 or 4 by Smithson Valley. The Rangers bringing very good pressure in the face of a quality quarterback, and you have him scrambling. He's not able to set. He's really trying to figure out the targets while he's on the move, and the pressure has just been enormous.
And they only rushed with 3 that time, and they still forced him to pull out of the pocket. Frash was a spy. He got there too. Now the punt. The left-footed punter into the wind doesn't go very far. See what kind of bounce. It kind of dies like a 9-iron again. At the 25, that's where the Rangers will start 1st and 10. The punt of about 28 yards. And the Rangers will have it 1st and 10 from their own 25.
Tony, can you get your 9-iron to do that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
more so my pitching wedge, but
okay, what?
I'm being nice with the 9-iron there.
You may have to show me that one. I can get it there, but then it
that's
rolls
after,
a little
That's
bit.
after a real rainy day and the greens are real soft,
Okay,
you know. You
fair
know how
enough.
that is?
Yes, I do.
Rangers come in with a tight bunch. A lone setback beside Nutt. He'll give it. Hoskins wants to run. Up the middle he goes. Fights for some yardage.
Where's the whistle?
Finally thrown back after the whistle blows. That's one of the defensive tackles. Look like Sebastian Garcia.
Well, I don't blame him for not letting go because I didn't hear a whistle. Now, again, safety, you would think when forward progress is
when it stopped,
you'd
think so.
But I don't think I heard a whistle there, Tony, so I cannot blame the defenders, but it does put the safety of the rusher kind of in check, and I'd have to agree again with Gabe Hoskins. Don't leave me out there like that to get slung to the turf.
3 yards on the run brings up 2nd and 7. Nutt will keep it. Up the middle they go. This is the primary force of runs is up the middle. He'll get 6, maybe he'll get 3, maybe 4 yards. They'll spot him beyond the 37, so we'll call it the 38. It's a 4-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd down and 3 now as the Rangers forcing everything up the middle now as they know the big guy is out for the Buffaloes. They've got backups, at least one backup on that defensive line. And we haven't called their middle linebacker, Derek Lewis, very much, or Rykes Johnson, the senior outside linebacker. So the Rangers bring in 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Jet sweep fake again. They keep it with Nutt, and he gets met. Somebody saw him and spotted him right away. And that time they got him and flushed it out. Evan Tapp, a sophomore linebacker, shut him down after a gain of no gain, and the Rangers will have to punt. Clock runs at 2:41 in the 3rd quarter. Wyatt Hayden, again, this time it spirals, near sideline, gets a great bounce and goes out of bounds. About the 25 is what it looked like to me. We'll see where they spot it, and they'll say the 26. So the punt about 35, 36 yards. No return.
That's the effective part.
That is the effective part.
You take the net. And right now, with the score as it is, if Smithson Valley just wants to trade possessions, as long as they don't turn the ball over and they get the opportunity to punt the ball back to the Buffaloes, this is considered winning during this football game.
It's a big stop right now to force them to punt into the wind. They give it to a sweep. That is one of their backup running backs. His jersey is all piled up. Is it Williams, and his jersey's just tucked inside his pads?
Yes.
Amari Williams with a little sweep to the far side, gets a gain of about 3 to the 29 before he's shoved out of bounds.
But you see how the pursuit, both teams run very well to the football, and it's just not a lot of room on the edges to run tonight.
So 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. Domenico throws it out to Edwards and misses him again. So in an incomplete pass on second down, Edwards was just doing from the slot a little out route, and DiDomenico missed him by a couple of yards.
Well, I tell you, the other advantage that Smithson Valley has is that their defensive linemen, Tony, they have size. They have the height. And so you're having to throw the ball, arc it over these pursuing defensive linemen that are in Max DiDomenico's face. He just can't see everything like he probably normally does.
3rd and 7, has some pressure, has to scramble. It's a blitzing lane. Now to the far sideline, he throws it up, and it's out of play, and that'll bring up 4th down on yet another incomplete pass, as DiDomenico has been fighting and running for his life throughout the early parts of this 3rd quarter. There is a flag on the field.
This, I think Max is trying to get a late hit on the quarterback. It's just good pursuit. But he may have gotten himself an opportunity to get a 1st down.
They're going to call a personal foul against Smithson Valley as he's throwing the ball out of bounds. Apparently, Larry Hill's not very happy about that one. See him marching on the sidelines.
Well, there was no chance for that ball to be completed.
No, not at all.
And, again, Max lobbying for a penalty. I just think the good pursuit, but you have to be careful because – the quarterback is saying, I'm going out of bounds, and I'm just trying to get rid of the ball so I don't intentionally ground it. But, again, you have to be careful.
2 receivers near side, 1 to the far side. DiDomenico out of the shotgun. 1:52 to go in the quarter. Throws it to Ed. No, that was Dudley on the right side, and he missed him badly. His arm has not been accurate in this second half at all. That's 3 incomplete passes in a row.
Exactly, and I just don't think – DiDomenico is setting his feet because the pursuit, he's starting to see people that aren't there, and he's not getting set to throw. And as you mentioned, Tony, it's all arm. Well, all arm is not going to necessarily get a ball to a receiver 7 or more yards down the field.
Just thinking that personal foul should have been a dead ball personal foul, and he didn't indicate that. DiDomenico looks left, has Edwards over here, now has to scramble because the rush is in there. Now he sees 2 Rangers, avoids one of them, then gets tackled right near the 41-yard line. A bunch of Rangers in there.
That was a swarm. That was the whole defensive line.
Not so sure it wasn't one of the safeties
coming up
that was near the bottom of the pile. De Hoyos is maybe, or Tanner Donovan. De Hoyos, I believe. So it's 3rd and 7 from the 41, and that's where he got the scramble to.
Well, I'll tell you what. You mentioned De Hoyos. I have a friend named Andrew Sendejo that played pretty well.
3-man rush. They'll blitz somebody too, I'm sure. So here come 4. And they got him. The ball's loose. The Rangers will try to pick it up. Please, somebody pick it up. It's still rolling all the way down to the 9-yard line, and I think the Buffaloes fell on it. And they'll punt here as the clock should stop. Well, maybe not. The clock rolls with 40 seconds to go, and if this works out for them as it's still running, they're not going to have to snap the ball and punt into the wind.
Well, I tell you, with all that excitement, Tony, the fundamental play, and we're from San Antonio, is to fall on the ball. Then it's yours. Trying to scoop and score results in giving the ball back. It was a great play. The blitz coming off the far side. And like I said, I just think Max thinks there's 14 players out there by the Smithson Valley Rangers because he took a shot from the backside. My goodness. And he's in front of us on the track just kind of trying to gather himself because there was tremendous pressure off the left side of the Rangers defense, and my goodness.
Trey Moore is shook up. He must have cramps. He's got cramps. He was down there by the 10-yard line. That's where the ball – Jared Johnson is fighting for the ball to be further up the field, and I don't know how he can even pretend to say that because nobody had the ball. They finally fell on him. And I think it was a backup tackle, Nathan Herring, who touched it initially and had a chance to pick it up but couldn't pick it up. Instead of falling on it, the ball just kept squirting further and further into the backfield. And there he is, Trey Moore, acting like he's full 100%, and he's hustling back to the huddle. So they'll have a 4th down.
That was
with 26 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter.
A perfectly timed blitz. And
without a doubt.
Really caught
Pretty sure it was
Domenico.
Malachi Lane off the far sideline.
My goodness. That was a decleater. And you don't.
And it's the first time Domenico hasn't seen it coming.
Yes.
And he got hit hard. Did somebody call a timeout? Did we call a timeout? Because I think they were going to start the clock.
That may be.
They did call, Smithson Valley did call a timeout. We'll keep it here right at the end of the third quarter. 26 ticks to go. The Rangers lead at 20-7. A 2-touchdown lead minus an extra point. So the Rangers would dearly love to score again, even though their ability to go with the wind will end basically with this punt and their first play from scrimmage. But again, the Rangers scored one of their touchdowns in the first quarter into the wind. We know they can do it. And everything else, the other 3 touchdowns have been scored with the wind at the back.
Tony, I love the ability for the defensive line of Smithson Valley to be able to run as well as it does. And now mixing up coverages and blitzes really has a quality quarterback, and Max DiDomenico confused. And not just confused, he's not feeling good as he's right in front of us trying to get some water from the Gatorade bottle.
Dalen Burris will go back into punt formation for the Buffaloes. Play clock starts. Snap is good. And the Rangers get close. He punts it. It just basically pops up and then gets a Ranger bounce all the way back inside the 25. It'll be down to the 23, so Rangers will have excellent field position on a punt of 13 yards, no return, and the Rangers have the ball at the Buffalo 23 with 19 seconds to go. So they'll get at least one play. If it's a run, that'll be it. But they're inside in what you call the red zone. Here come the Rangers out of the sideline. The huddle right to the line. 3 receivers to the near side, one in a tight formation on the far side. Now motion again on the jet sweep. They give it to him this time. He ducks in, then goes out, then runs out of bounds. Good-looking run that time by Cade. Pardon me, wrong time. Chase Senelik, who's done that a couple of times. He gets first down yardage inside the 15 to the 12-yard line, so an 11-yard gain on the run. Out of bounds, the Rangers will have another play.
Well, that action had been used a lot, and it was a decoy. Well, there, going to the far side, the sophomore picks up a first down.
Good-looking run. He's in motion again. Rangers, this time Nutt keeps it on the fake and follows his block, left edge, towards the corner, towards the pylon. I think he's out of bounds before the end zone since we've seen no signal yet, but the Rangers should have first and goal now from inside the 2.
Another good run. It was the same exact action, Tony.
Yeah.
But now Jalen Nutt decides to keep, and that's the end of the quarter, but it's first and goal.
First and goal from the 1 as the third quarter expires. We'll be back with the fourth quarter. The Rangers up 20-7 on the Ranger Network.
Hi, I'm Kim Acker, construction lender at Sage Capital Bank. I just want to say those Ranger cheerleaders are doing a great job. Keep it up. Go Rangers!
Tonight's broadcast on Rangers Network is brought to you by GVTC, Ferris Orthodontics, Smoky Moe's Barbecue, Fisher's Market, Sage Capital Bank, HEB, Summerhill Dental, Dermatology San Antonio, and Wick Productions.
12 minutes of football to go from Lehnhoff Stadium. The Rangers lead the Clemens Buffaloes 20-7. The Rangers are at the 1-yard line with first and goal to go to try to expand their lead as we start the fourth quarter. But it's been an amazing second half. The big guy, the big defensive tackle, number 90, Kamani Evans, is trying to work his ankle or whatever it was, but they're not going to let him go back out there as he still seems to be a little bit hobbled. He's not happy right now because he thinks he can go, and he is very demonstrative of his unhappiness. So the Rangers will come from the sideline. Start of the fourth quarter, 1st and goal. They're on the near hash. Rangers will leave 2 receivers to the far side. There's one down here on the near. The setback is Hoskins. Nutt will follow Hoskins up the middle and score his 4th touchdown of the game. It's 26-7. The Rangers, behind Jalen Nutt, have expanded their score to a 3-score advantage.
There was no surprise there, Tony. That was going to be a keeper. And it seems like the A-gaps between the center and the guards have been the most vulnerable to both teams. But now, as you mentioned, the Buffaloes losing number 90, Evans. And right there, Jalen Nutt takes advantage.
Are they going to go for it? Down up 26-7. Again with the kicking into the wind. They'll go for 2. Nutt will follow. He's got a man in the end zone. It's Freeland, and it's a 2-point conversion. The Rangers. There is a flag on the play. It's in the middle of the field. Would that be holding? We wouldn't want that to work.
Or
they call holding on the Rangers. Goodness. So the try for 2 is waved off. Are they going to try to kick it now since they're a little 5 yards back? That would be my question.
That's like the quickest holding call.
Yeah.
That play happened in about 2 seconds. Can you hold that quick, Tony?
Well, somebody came up the middle and we must have grabbed him. Is the only thing I'll say. I'd have to see the. I'd have to see the.
Polite young man, Tony.
I'd have to see the replay.
You're a polite young man.
Now the extra point will be about almost.
The hold didn't even come from the point of attack.
Almost 30 yards, 28 yards for the extra point try. And Austin Hosier will give it a chance. The snap is good. This hold goes down. This one's kicked very strongly, and it goes through. So the extra point is good. It's 27-7. The Rangers go up on the first 5 seconds of the fourth quarter as we're back after this timeout on the Ranger Network.
Hi, I'm Kim Acker, construction lender at Sage Capital Bank. I just want to say those Ranger cheerleaders are doing a great job. Keep it up. Go!
A whole lot of things have changed over the past few months, but some things have stayed just the same. Here at Smithson Valley, we are still making your kids smile. You may not see that as easily with those masks on, but those smiles are just beneath. And when all this passes, and it will, you'll really be reminded of how we just keep making them smile. Thank you for your trust and support, and get your guns up.
Rangers lead at 27-7 over Clemens here at Lehnhoff Stadium.
Blame me, Tony. I want you to blame me on this one because
you don't believe there was holding, but
you can't hold that quick. You have a rollout quarterback that's literally sprinting to his right. Wherever the hold was did not affect that play.
Well, that is obvious, but that happens all the time. There's penalties for punt, for blocks, a backside block on a punt on a guy that already went past the punt returner.
Exactly, you're right.
You know, so that doesn't really hold much water. But Austin Hosier will kick it off into the wind. They've got guys clear back inside the 10 again. I'm not real sure if the wind is. The flag doesn't say the wind's died down. This one's a pop-up kick near sideline. There is a fair catch, and it is received at the 30-yard line, and that's where they will start 1st and 10. It looked like that was fielded by Tyrell Peterson, a defensive back.
Yes.
And they will start, well, they say at the 30-yard line is where they'll mark it, and that's where the Buffaloes will try to get back in this game. The Rangers up by 20 points, 11:55 to go in the fourth quarter, but we have seen this series. Smithson Valley trails in the series 15-5, and they've lost a bunch of game recently. The last one was not to 2016 last time they won. Here's DiDomenico, wants to run. Rangers pursuit. He's got a couple of yards. Lane got a hold of him, also slowed down by De Hoyos. And Trey Moore, of course, was running on the play. A gain of 3 up to the 33. It's 2nd down and 7.
Good pursuit by Malachi Lane. He's been running sideline to sideline. But again, just tonight I'm very much impressed by the front 7 of Smithson Valley. The Rangers, man, they're keeping DiDomenico off balance.
Their defensive line has been something else. They'll that's mishandled. DiDomenico picks it back up off the ground, then runs to the near sideline and goes out of bounds at the 36, another gain of about 3. That'll bring up a relatively normal 3rd down and 4.
Well, again, a poor snap and exchange.
I don't know how bad the snap was. He just tried to get it to the running back, and the running back.
Yeah, the snap and exchange was
he tried to get it, or he didn't want him to. I think he wanted to give it to Williams, and Williams didn't receive it. So 3rd and 4 from their own 36. Big stop for the Rangers if they can get it. 3 down linemen. Here's a late blitzer. They put pressure. Trey Moore's got him and throws him down inside the 25 on 3rd and 4. A great sack. I think it's the first sack of the night on DiDomenico, and that's Trey Moore.
Trey Moore's just been, like I said, he set me up well because I just really think that this front line of Smithson Valley came to play, recognizing the importance of this district game against Schertz, Clemens, and tonight, hats off to the defensive line for the Rangers.
4th and 4, you'd go for it, I think, down 20 points, but now it's 4th and about 25. The left-footed, oh, what a kick with the wind. Chases Bowman back and then gets a bounce. That one popped up for him. There he goes. He picks it up at the 20, has nowhere to go, and gets tackled at the 20, and that's where the ball will be spotted for the Rangers. That was a remarkable punt that went almost 50 yards. Bowman watched it go over his head, got a nice high bounce, then picked it up on the next bounce. They'll spot it at the 19 where the Rangers will start 1st and 10 on what might be considered now the most important drive of the game, because if you can take some time off the clock going into the wind, it'd be a good killer to put this one away.
Well, right now, you have effectively 3 scores that you need if you're the Buffaloes.
Oh, without a doubt, yes.
You want to take time off the clock.
Yes. Nutt fakes the handoff, has some blockers out in front of him. Right side, stay in bounds. He goes out of bounds, pushed out of bounds, but not until he gets 1st down yardage on a nice run that will actually be totaled about, where are they going to spot it at? The 33, so a 12-yard run for Jalen Nutt.
Good decision to keep the ball. It looked like Hoskins would have been bottled up in the middle of the offensive line, and you have number 4 sprinting far side towards his own bench. And, the clock's going to stop anyway, Tony, after a 1st down, so get out of bounds. Don't take the punishment.
Right.
And then possess the ball.
2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. Both safeties up tight. They know they're going to run. Hoskins up the middle, has a seam, gets about 5 before he's wrestled down, but not until he gets an extra 2 yards after they're wrestling him down. That's the safety, Bryce Taylor, that tried to hold him back, and he could not. Also, linebacker, free safety, Devontae. The 2 safeties are making the tackles after an 8-yard gain.
Looked like Travis McCracken, 32, with the change of pace on that one.
Oh, you're right. Pardon me. So a little hut for Jalen Nutt, 2nd and 2. He wants to run it himself. Get some blocks right side. Must have stumbled because he went down kind of in a heap. He gets a yard up to the 30, 43. So it'll be 3rd down and 1.
But this clock's going to tick under 9 minutes.
It will.
And that's what you want. Possess the ball. No need to rush if you're Smithson Valley now. Just meticulously and methodically move the ball. I loved Hank Stram. Just matriculate the ball on down the field. I'm a big historian of the game, and that's what Smithson Valley needs to do.
So from the 42, they need a yard to go. Nutt wants to keep it himself. Avoids 2 rushers. Now goes to the outside and goes down in bounds at the 47-yard line. The quarterback keeper gets another 1st down. 5 yards on the gain.
Good athletic move to dip inside, and then I call it the sideline express. Get to that boundary and try to make the most of it. Outrace your opponent, pick up the 1st down, and as you commented, stay in bounds. Wouldn't matter because, again, the clock is going to stop after a first down, but the first down was possessed by Smithson Valley. That's what you want because now you can take this game clock under 8 minutes.
Nutt gives it to McCracken. Right side has a seam, squirts ahead, gets about 4, crosses midfield to the 49 of the Buffaloes. That's a gain of 4 before he's tripped up. It'll be 2nd and 6, and the clock will go under 8 minutes to go.
And Travis McCracken shuffling back and forth. Do we have a quarterback change? No. Nope. Here comes Nutt.
So three receivers come near side. There's one on the far side. No running back with Nutt. Now motion. Right receiver sweep. It goes again. And getting tripped up. A nice-looking run again by Senelick. Got tripped up on the play after a gain of a couple. That is Hunter, the safety. And again, I think Hunter and Taylor have been the most names called for them, and they're their 2 safeties. And that's not a way to win football games.
No, and again, this clock is going to wind down now under 7 minutes. So possessing the football now, up multiple scores, this is the formula. You want to be able to have a team that can take time off the clock in the fourth quarter and really give your opponent no opportunity.
3rd and 3. Clock goes under 7 minutes to play in the game. Here's a double reverse. Freeland with Nutt ahead of him. Gets across the first down yardage at the 40, inside the 35 before he's tackled down on the far sideline. Again, one of those there was Hunter, also the cornerback Curry. Freeland on a double reverse, gets first down yardage. They'll spot him at the 33.
Good play call right there. Again, that gets these defenses pursue very well. That gets that defense pursuing inside out, coming near side to us. And as you mentioned, Maverick Freeland going far side like he's trying to run a 200, making that left turn and picks up another first down for the Rangers.
So the clock at 6:25 and rolling in the fourth quarter. Rangers on a lengthy drive. Here's Avery, left side, fights for some yardage, gets stopped at the 30. Something on the field. Did somebody lose a shoe? One of our offensive linemen lost a shoe after the 3-yard run.
Well, this is perfect because now the clock is going to run under 6 minutes, Tony. And we're just going to take it methodically down. Then under 5 minutes. And this is, as some people may not know this, but it's a Roberta Flack reference, killing him softly. They probably know the Lauryn Hill version in the Fugees, but either way, this is how you want to run the clock down when you have a lead, as the Rangers do in the fourth quarter.
Game clock at 5:40 and rolling, fourth quarter, 2nd and 7 after the 3-yard gain. Nutt has a man throwing down the field into double coverage. That was McDonald. He took a chance, stops the clock at 5:34 on the 9th play of the drive, an incomplete pass. But the drive continues with 3rd and 7 with 5:34 to go in the game, up by 20.
And this drive started with 9 minutes on the clock, so you've trying to taken half off. You're probably going to try to run for the first down because if nothing else, the clock will then go under 5 minutes, Tony, and then you can have a decision. Do you go for it on fourth down? You probably don't try a field goal because we've seen that the wind has kept that ball from traveling its normal distance.
2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. It's a delayed handoff. Avery squirts up the middle. He's got some room. He's got another first down on 3rd and long. The Rangers run for it and get the first down.
Great looking misdirection play. Start that defense one way, hand the ball inside. The crease was there again from the right side heading left. And as you mentioned, Justin Avery picks up the first down, and this really now works on the clock, and that's what the Rangers want, being able to bring the ball forward for a first down and also bringing the clock under 5 minutes, leading 27-7.
Folks, if you've been able to see this, Jalen Nutt has gone to the sideline almost every play to get the play call. 2 backs. This one's McCracken going right side, finds the seam, squirts ahead. Clock goes under 5 minutes to go as the play is marked inside the 15 at the 14. So call it a gain of 3, and the Rangers continue to move the ball on the ground.
Take all the time you want now. You give me 3 more yards, and run the clock down. Give me 3 more yards. Have a situation where you may have to have 4th and 1, or you do what we just saw with Justin Avery picking up the first down. If he gets the same type of yardage, he may be in the end zone.
2 more runs, and this play or the game clock will be under 3.5 minutes to go on 4th down if they don't get a first down. 2 backs, 1 on either side. McCracken going right, has a seam over the 10, over the goal line, touchdown! Travis McCracken, the junior, his first score of the season, and he's got 78 yards of rushing coming into the game. He's probably near 100 for the season, and he's been a good running back. The junior, the 3rd different tailback, as the Rangers will try for the extra point.
Well, he just made the blooper reel, too, because the second guy, he did a little jump high five, knocked him to the turf on his back. But congratulations, number 32, a 14-yard touchdown.
Hosier on for the extra point. The snap was good. The snap was a little low. The hold was good, and the kick is good. So the Rangers go up on the 14-yard TD run by McCracken. And we'll take a timeout on the field. The Rangers up 34-7, 4:10 to go in the game on the Ranger Network.
A whole lot of things have changed over the past few months, but some things have stayed just the same. Here at Smithson Valley, we are still making your kids smile. You may not see that as easily with those masks on, but those smiles are just beneath. And when all this passes, and it will, you'll really be reminded of how we just keep making them smile. Thank you for your trust and support, and get your guns up.
What's your Wi-Fi score? With the GVTC Wi-Fi Score Quiz, you can determine the Wi-Fi speed to suit your needs. The tech aces? Well, they're on another level. Take our quick Wi-Fi score quiz today at gvtc.com/Wi-Fi score and make sure your connection is up to speed.
Rangers up 34-7 over Clemens as that drive of 12 plays and 81 yards that took almost 5 minutes of clock time leads to the advantage. Hosier this time pops it up again. He calls for a fair catch again. Does Tyrell Peterson. And the Buffaloes will start from their own 30-yard line again. Second drive in a row from the 30 after this second fair catch.
And I tell you how important this district game is, Tony, is that none of the starters for the Rangers are coming off the field up 34-7 with 4:10 to go. They're leaving no doubt, as was said in a popular sports movie.
And they have played several backups through the game, but you're right. The first team is still out there. Trey Moore still rushing the passer. Completed pass out to the edge. Looked like that was caught by Cale Peters, but he didn't get much as the secondary.
Malachi Lane coming from that second level. 22 has been running sideline to sideline with the rest of his defensive squad. It just, again, I can't say enough for that front seven and the front four in particular. And you've called his name, Trey Moore. His motor, he's coming out of the game. So a little love for 99.
Noah Flores was in on that tackle as well on the edge. So game clock now under 3:30. It's 2nd and 9. They hand it off. This is one of the backup running backs, Torian Smith, the junior. He'll get near the far sideline, give him a couple of yards. Rangers won't give him much. Spotted up at the 33. That's a gain of 2. It's now third down and 7. And they've been in those situations a lot tonight in the second half.
Frash coming off the field and giving some congratulations as well.
One by one, those seniors are coming off. Game clock under 3 minutes to go. DiDomenico with 2 receivers to the near side. Wants to throw. Has a man in the middle. It's Edwards, but he gets flushed. Now looking for help, and he runs with it, but he's tracked down from behind by a backup defensive lineman. That is Colton Shepler, the backup middle linebacker, pardon me. and he chased him down for no gain. It's 4th down.
Well, again, the pursuit from the Rangers defense, again, that front seven is just coming and coming and coming. They're pursuing, and they're not giving DiDomenico or anyone in blue this evening an opportunity.
Home crowd starting to make their way out of the stadium, 34-7. The Rangers leading. This is Dalen Burris, the senior punter. Will punt again, this time with the wind at his back. This one a little bit wobbly, not as effective as the last one. Takes a Ranger bounce and just dies at the 33. Buffalo's all fighting over who's going to down it. Down it sooner, the play clock or the game clock stops if you down it.
34-yard punt, no return, first.
So the punt was 34 yards, no return. Smithson Valley can run the clock out now with 1:56 to go. They'll start the drive from their own 33. I don't know how many timeouts they will call. They have all 3 to their disposal. My guess is they've got some backups in there now too. Rangers send some backups of their own. There's a new quarterback. That's Derek Mata. He'll hand it off. That must be McCracken. Goes right side, gets some yardage. No timeout called, so we'll run a couple of plays here, and that should be the end of the game. The Rangers up 34-7. They led by 13-7 at the half and have scored 3 times, twice with Jalen Nutt and 1 with Travis McCracken, and put this game away.
Really good second half by the Rangers.
Derek Mata, the quarterback, with 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near. 1 setback beside him. Game clock at 9. He snaps the ball. This is McCracken coming near side, squirts through, gets around a couple of defenders, and gets near a first down. Up to the 42. He needs the 43 for a first down.
I like how Travis McCracken gets it going.
Yes, indeed. So it is 3rd and 1. Game clock under a minute to go. There's about a 28-second difference between the game clock and the play clock. So I believe even if we don't make it, this will be the last play of the game. Mata, play clock under 5, takes the snap. Gives it to McCracken. He's got first down yardage, drags a couple of defenders, gets popped at the 50, and that should be the last play of the game. The clock will stop briefly for the first down. And that should be it, as the Rangers are happy on their sideline. The Buffalo's not as happy. The Rangers will improve to 3-1 overall and 1-1 in district play. The Buffaloes will fall to 1-3 overall and 0-2 in district play. As has been the custom this 2020 year, both teams will probably just come out and huddle somewhere near themselves and wave across the field. The 2 coaches meet at the center of the field, and the team's kind of getting a lot closer than we've seen much recently. But no real close contact, as both teams respect each other. These are 2 teams that have had a lot of battles in recent years. This time the Rangers, for the first time since 2016, come away with a win. Jalen Nutt, 4 touchdowns. We'll wrap everything up after this. Well, we'll just keep it here, and we'll just keep going. We won't take another timeout. 34-7 your final. Jalen Nutt, 4 touchdown runs. The difference in the game, we called it early in the game. This was a battle of 2 quarterbacks. The Rangers quarterback flourished in the second half. The Buffalo's quarterback was running for his life most of the second half.
Yeah, in as much as I hate to say this, all throughout broadcast that I've had the opportunity to be a part of, as much as an offensive guy, I can say that am, or what have you. Defense wins championships. They win the game. When the defense from Smithson Valley stepped up in the second half and really made Max DiDomenico not have a lot of time to look downfield, not have a lot of time to plant his feet, not have a lot of time to think about where he's going with the football or think about where he was going to run with the football, it completely changed the outlook of this game. You take a game that was somewhat close at half, and it became a runaway for the Rangers. Hats off to everyone on that defensive side of the ball. The perfectly timed blitz, it really caught Max DiDomenico off guard, took him off of his feet. The ball went backwards for 30 yards. It really made a difference to have a defense step up, and the one that stepped up wore white on their jerseys and were from Smithson Valley. So the Rangers putting it on a quality quarterback, and then you did have the support of the offense that scored more than enough points to secure a district victory and keep themselves in play in 27-6A.
Stephen, it's been a pleasure. This has been a remarkable football. We talked about stats at halftime. Smithson Valley had less than 100 yards of offense. They ran for over 100 yards in the second half, clearly. Probably a lot more than that. And I think the tables were turned as Clemens had the aggressive offensive numbers at halftime. Second half, it was all Rangers.
Well, we spoke about it before this football game, and we don't care if it's the 21st century and modernization has occurred. If you cannot run the football at some point in time, it may come back to haunt you, and you couldn't get the ball through the A, B, or C gaps running between the tackles if you were in blue. Schertz Clemens just was shut down by the defense of Smithson Valley. The Rangers bringing pressure at opportune times to really confuse and even disrupt Max DiDomenico, make him fumble the football. A great second half effort led by the defense of the Rangers.
So while I will still say Jalen Nutt would be the player of the game, the Smithson Valley Ranger defense will be also co-player of the game because every one of the defensive players had a part in the big stop.
Well, Tony, you know I have no problems with giving the player of the game to an offensive player, but again, this defense of the Smithson Valley Rangers made all the difference this evening so that you can award, if you so choose, the player of the game to Jalen, number 4, scoring 4 touchdowns. In fact, that's my favorite number as well. So I will never disagree with you on that.
So for Stephen Foster, this is Tony Brubaker saying good night and God bless. The Rangers win it 34-7 to go 1-1 in district play. We'll talk to you again next time on the Ranger Network.